Grainberry Cinnamon Frosted Shredded Wheat every morning because my bold goal is to pack as much flavor into my breakfast as possible.
I eat a bowl of Grainberry Honey Nut Toasted Oats every morning because my bold goal is to start each day with tons of energy.
Grainberry cereal with amazing onyx sorghum is a delicious way to keep your family's health goals on track, with more antioxidants than any fruit, vegetable, or cereal.
I'm Peter Harris for Grainberry cereals. Grainberry with amazing onyx sorghum starts with lower sugar than other cereals. Then we use only whole grains to help slow sugar absorption, making it great for managing diabetes and prediabetes. Whatever your health goals are, find it in a bowl of Grainberry cereal. Pick up a box today.
Grainberry, healthy cereal for your family.
When he's not talking about it, he's tweeting about it.
Do you Twitter?
Follow the Troubleshooter at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of Denver's talk station on Twitter.
Just give me your Twitter and I'll follow you.
Find us right now at 630 KHOW. It's the Dan Capla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
Thursday at 4. I love it when a plan comes together. The timing could not be better. The guest host could not be better. Fresh off that wild and woolly GOP Assembly, Christy Burton Brown, chair of the Colorado GOP, in for me on the Dan Capla Show.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help a common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe where we are solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, making your life just a little easier. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. They have buy one, get one free now on CBD oil, which is part of their immune formula, or immunization booster, I should say, with CBD in it and zinc and some other stuff, vitamin D. Check them out, RealCBDThatWorks.com, also a cosmetic line with anti-inflammatory properties. I love this stuff. It's Panacea Life Sciences, RealCBDThatWorks.com. Tom and the promo code 30% off, except, of course, when you buy one, get one free with that immunization formula. Let's talk, okay? We talk about problems each and every day, so let's get right to it. And then we'll recap some of the more important things where you're going to need some help in areas, and we want to we want to avoid problems. So what we do is tell you what happened recently and the trending scams. But right now, this scam, I call it a scam, timeshares. We have, is it Medrano? Is that how I pronounce your name?
Yep, that's our Mel. Mel works.
Mel?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, let's talk about this. I want to say in general, I call timeshares a scam because of the way they sell them. They call them investments. They're not investments because you can't sell them. You can't get rid of them. People die to get out of them. They literally because, and then even upon death, if the estate makes a mistake, they take on the responsibility. But the bottom line is this. Not only are the people selling timeshares screwing us, but then the people promising to get you out of the timeshares are screwing us. I think you remember the timeshare exit team and other timeshare things. They all turned out to be schlock, making promises, taking money up front, not delivering.
Yep.
We were one of the few people warning people of that, and we hooked up with a law firm in Florida called the Finn Law Group. It's actually a law firm that really does negotiate settlements to get people out of contracts, and they've been very successful. So I have them listening to your call, Mel, just to see if we can help. Andy, welcome from the Finn Law Group. Appreciate this. Let's listen to Mel. Go ahead, Mel.
Awesome. Thank you, Tom. So, yeah, my sister and I, we both had, we had heard about, we got like a free little vacation away within our state. So, but we just had to go to a conference. We went to this conference, and that's when they started talking about all these great things about Welk resorts. They ended up, we had initially told them no.
Of course, everyone does. And they don't even care when you say no, because they I don't know how they do it, but what did they use to hypnotize you?
They came back saying, okay, well, I know you, let us make it better for you. Let's get you a free flight to LA, you have kids, we'll get you to the Disneyland. You could take them to Disneyland. We'll hook you up with these deals. We said no again. So next the supervisor comes back and is like, oh, no, but this is the best deal you're going to get. So, I mean, at this point, we're like, damn, we already said multiple times no, and they ended up, just convincing us and making it sound really good.
Okay, so you bought it. What did you buy, Mel? What did you buy?
So I bought. So it looks like we paid $15,900 is what we originally bought it at 16.9%.
When did you buy it?
May of 2019.
Okay, and when you bought it, you financed it.
Correct.
What did you actually buy? Did you buy points? Did you buy points or did you buy time?
Points. It has like 180,000 points per year, I believe.
And that's a scam, and here's why it's a scam. I know that Andy at the Finn Law Group has run across this. You buy 180,000 points, and they tell you, oh, that's good for a week, right? Or is that what you bought? Yeah. And then what happens is in the small print it says we can adjust the value of those points up or down depending on the market. So what you think is a week can turn out to be 3 days, and then you have to buy additional points. But anyway, you bought 180,000 points, and you paid how much? 15,000 basically?
Correct.
Okay, and you financed it at how much?
16.9%.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, and so now you want to get out of it because in addition to that, you have maintenance fees of how much a year?
Right now, they want to send it to collections at $1,400.
No, but how much a year is it total, your maintenance?
Oh, I paid $255 a month, and then maintenance is $1,000 every other year.
Okay, so $500 a year for maintenance?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Now, is this Andy at the Finn Law Group who works at getting people out of these contracts? Is this a common ploy nowadays, Andy, to do the to do the points?
Yes. So totally. We hear from clients all the time about we call it the drop. So in the sales presentation, they'll start presenting you with the fanciest, most upscale unit or whatever, and then you tell them no, and so then they come back with another one, and then finally they'll come to you with one they say is maybe in foreclosure or they just got it back, and it's a real cheap one. They figure out, they're masterful at figuring out what your point is and what they
Andy,
can sell.
what are the most abusive timeshares you've seen around the world?
Oh, man. I'll tell you this much, Tom. I personally, I think the selling to senior citizens is really the most egregious. We have folks that have come in their 70s and 80s with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of points, and they just don't have the ability to travel, and they certainly don't have the ability to travel anytime soon or for very long.
Okay, and what any particular areas, Hawaii, Florida, Puerto Rico, or wherever, any particular areas come to mind as far as bad deals, or are they all bad?
Yes. So here's what I'll tell you. The only ones that are going to be good, in my opinion, are the ones that are in destinations where people are going to want to go, and in the season when people are going to want to be there. So if you get yourself a resort in Vail in high ski season, well, that's probably got some value. But, in the summertime, maybe not so much.
Yeah, and also, here's what I say, Andy. I don't mind timeshare when it's truly timeshare. For example, there are groups of people, like 12. I know people in Palm Desert who do it, in Newport who do it, in the mountains who do it. They actually have a deeded piece of that property, and then they have an LLC, and they decide with scheduling online who's going to use it when. But they all have a real share. It's not this bogus timeshare stuff.
So it used to be that's how it was. We call that a legacy resort. You actually got a slice of a unit somewhere, and you had a deed. But today they're not selling it that way. They're selling it by the vast majority by points. And then what that is really an invitation to try to make a reservation.
I know. And I call it, I call it financial herpes because they're almost impossible to get out of. So, Mel, you're calling because you want to get out of it.
Yes, please.
How much do you owe?
Oh, I don't have that number off the bat. I've been paying for 3 years now, so I'm sure I still owe probably $12,000.
And then you owe in maintenance. How much back maintenance?
$1,400 right now that I have to pay by May. Otherwise, they're going to send it to my collection or send it to collection.
So, Andy, what are the ramifications here? What if she just let them? Will they eventually just take it back or not?
So this is the danger. Some developers will. It depends on where they're at, what they want to do with that inventory. But other developers will sue you. They almost all will hit your credit report. So you can expect that to show up. And, then if you're trying to refinance or buy something, it's going to bite you. But almost all of them report on your credit report.
Now, what would you do with her as a client if she owes about $12,000 plus about $1,400 in maintenance? How much does it cost to get out of this thing? Because it's not free. I mean, you're a real law firm.
Right. So I'd have to know the documents to give you a hard, fast price. But we try to do a fee up front for people. We look at what we have, and we take into account what they owe and what the value to them is in getting out of what is, like you said, Tom, a lifelong obligation. And so we would, figure out what she's got and quote her a fixed fee.
Now, unfortunately, Mel, you should have come to them a lot sooner. But right now what I'd like to do is have you at least contact them and talk to them off the air. They're not a high pressure. This is not a scam. This is a real law firm. And they're very experienced at getting people out of this stuff. And let me put it to you this way. Even if you had to finance, I mean, literally with a credit card or something to get out of it, it's better than what you're in, because what you're in will never end. Even after you pay it off. How many year financing is this?
120 months, so 10 years.
10 years. Even after that, you still have maintenance. And in fact, while you're paying, you have maintenance, and the maintenance keeps going up. And the points will go down, meaning that the 180,000 points, which is now good for a week, will eventually only be good for a few days. So listen, Kelly, could you make sure she gets the number, and I'll give people the number. You can find the Finn Law Group on our referral list at referralist.com. The number is 855-346-6529.
I know. I have a friend that loves his timeshare.
How could I resist? You're so cute.
He goes to the World Series of Poker every July. And he has a.
But I can show him on paper where he's paying more than he would if he just got the best hotel ever. I mean,
but at least he used it at the same time every year because he knows that he's going to be the first 2 weeks of July.
I don't doubt that. I've talked to people that said that, but they have to admit they're paying way more.
Probably.
I love Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. It's a brotherly love. I'm serious. This guy is someone you want to be your friend. I have so many people call me and say, we use Frank to buy a house or to sell our house, and they've stayed in touch with him. He becomes your friend. Now listen, you should talk to him if you're thinking about anything in real estate, including a free market analysis. No gimmicks. Real results proven by stats. He sells for more in a shorter time. He can help you also buy. Frank Duran, the real estate man, complimentary market analysis, 303-920-1622. I'm going to ask you, what do you want in an auto repair facility? What do you want, truly? I'm going to tell you what you want. The very first thing you want, what is it, Talib? Honesty. Of course it is. Then what do you want? You want at least someone who knows what they're doing, because you can be honest but be an honest idiot. But at Sheridan, they're not just honest, but they have knowledge and experience. Also, convenience and value. We call Kevin Uncle Kevin because he treats his people like family, including customers. 303-455-7242. In Lakewood and Aurora, maintenance, repairs, electrical issues, SheridanAutotech.com, 455-7242.
What's done more to
my car in this afternoon?
God, he is great.
I need an oil change.
You'll love it.
I know they're not going to screw me. They're not going to pull any crap. I mean, you go anywhere for an oil change, but you always wonder what they're doing.
and it's not that far from my house, but at least I know they're going to actually do an oil change.
Deputy Smarty Pants is available, he wanted us to know.
Saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can...
Dollar says he's not feeling too good.
He's not feeling good?
Yeah.
You know, he was sick yesterday. What's up with him?
He said something with his stomach.
HomeLoans.com. First, we listen, then we lend, including the interest rate guarantee. If rates go down, they'll refinance you free of charge. Pick your own term loan. Also, rock-solid pre-approvals, which put you at par with cash buyers. Call now, 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity during tax season because so much sensitive info is all together.
Before we start the annual meeting of Sean's personal info, has anyone seen Social Security number? Nope. Oh, no. He's been stolen.
LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but you can save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
When you are sick, injured, or experiencing an urgent medical problem, the last thing you want to do is
your home to find care. Now, thanks to Dispatch Health, you don't have to, because Dispatch Health brings the power of the hospital to the comfort of your home. That's right, receive same-day, high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the comfort and privacy of your home. Just call or click, and Dispatch Health...
So Russell Wilson is selling his house in Seattle because he moved to Denver.
I know. So $32 million.
$36 million. Who needs a $36 million house? I mean, Tom can afford it, but he doesn't have a $36 million house.
No, it probably doesn't come with a hanger for his helicopter.
I wish I could, but I could. The most expensive house I owned was not what I paid for it. It was a $6 million appraisal, but I stole it.
You're talking about Elizabeth?
The drug house. The drug dealers. Listen to this. They built it. I mean, it's still there. I mean, I sold it. But I got into it for $3 million flat. And the only reason I did that is because I sold the house and I got into it for $3 million flat. Or no, 2.8, 2.6. Fixed it up a little bit because there was deferred maintenance. But these guys built it. And they were busted up at Jeff Coyer
This
for it.
report is
Their lear
sponsored by
jets built with cocaine.
Indeed.com. Plenty of sunshine and temperatures a little bit warmer today into the low 60s and upper 50s. That's the way
Did you
this will
sell
get
it?
around right around 30.
Well, I lived in it for a while.
And Fox 31 pinpoint weather team
And then I sold it for a little, for some profit. But now it's appraised for $6 million.
Everything is going up like crazy.
But my God in heaven, it was the most beautiful home I ever lived in.
Where was it, Tom?
Sponsor your first job today and get hiring
It
by
was called,
visiting
the
Indeed.com/credit.
name of the place is Little Haven. It's a little enclave, one of those enclaves, those gated enclaves in Littleton. Right off of Santa Fe. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Hey, waterpros.net. Let me tell you about WaterPros. I said that the water softeners, whole house, were around $2,000 because he had to raise prices. Here's what he told me today. For Martino listeners, still under $2,000 for a whole house water softening, water conditioning system, second to none, computerized, no salt in your drinking water. Promise. It's low. It takes out the hardness and preserves your plumbing, your laundry, your appliances. It's waterpros.net. And drinking fountains, never buy bottled water under $1,000 fully installed. Waterpros.net. Don't forget, he's keeping prices down for Martino listeners, which is extraordinary. Now, let's talk about your bathroom contract. Brigitta, is it? I'm sorry, I want to make sure I pronounce names properly here. Is it Brigitta?
No, it's Brigitta.
Brigitta. Okay, what's going on?
Well, okay, in November 17, I had just moved into this house, and found, even though I had an inspection, I found all kinds of problems like mold like crazy. And anyhow.
But wait, was this a new build or was this a used home?
A used home. About,
okay.
I want to say 20 years old, 21 years old.
Okay.
And so when I moved in, I tore out the old carpet and I found in the master bedroom mold all over the floor.
Uh-oh.
So I hired someone to tear out the whole bathroom because I figured all that mold had to come from the bathroom, which actually it didn't, and I don't know where it came from. But anyhow, so here I am in this house, and I had to have a shower. You know, you can only go so long. Anyhow.
Okay, so I want to ask you something, Brigitte. When you tell me that you had a mold problem under the carpet, did you get that fixed? Did you get that mold eradicated?
I did.
Okay,
I did.
And then when you did the bathroom, what happened?
Well, I tore it all out, and then of course I had to replace the bathroom. And that was somewhat important, obviously. And so I called a few companies, and some of them were able to come out, and some of them weren't. And someone said, well, we'll see you in a couple of months. Anyhow, this company came out, very nice, very accommodating, gave me a price, which I thought was fierce because I had the same type of shower.
Did you contract? What was the name of this company?
That was...
hey, Tom, you've got the paperwork in your inbox.
Okay.
I forwarded it to.
I'll look, but what was the name?
Yeah, Home Pride.
Home Pride?
Home Pride.
Okay. I wish you would have called Renew Home Innovations, my friend Nick. God, he does beautiful showers and bathrooms and tubs. And anyway, so let's get to the problem. What happened with Home Pride?
Anyhow, well, he convinced me that it would cost $13,000. I had the same type of shower installed in my California home.
Okay, so was it a $13,000 contract?
Yes, $13,000 and something.
All right. So what happened?
And that was on November 17th. And I was really high, but I couldn't find anyone to come and do a shower. So I thought, well, you know, I need a shower, and signed the contract. My mistake. They also advertised had a special, no money down until the job is done, and you can finance. So when I talked to this man, at first I said, I'm not sure. I may have to finance, but I wasn't sure. Then I called him back the next day and said, I'm not going to finance because it's like 18% finance charge and all that. So that was that. And then...
Well, hold on. So where do we stand? What's the problem right now? You haven't told me the problem yet.
I'm getting to it. I'm sorry. So about 3 days later, actually 4 days later, I decided I can't afford the shower because I come to find out all the windows were cracked, broken, the seals were broken, it was getting cold.
Okay, Brigitte, hold on now. Now, wait. The bathroom part you wanted to do, but not the basement?
No, has nothing to do with the basement.
I don't know why I heard that. Okay, so you signed a $13,000 contract for the bathroom, right?
Yes.
And then you changed your mind.
Right.
Okay, got it.
And on November 21, it was getting cold. I realized I have to do the windows. I can't do the shower because
I get it. All right. But here's the deal. You may not be able to just cancel a contract and do windows instead. What I'm trying to get at, here's what I'm trying to get at, and I will fill in the blanks. But what is the problem today?
Okay.
Is there a way you can just tell me, Brigitte, is there a way you can just tell me what the problem is first? Like, you called us today for what reason?
Okay. About 3 months, 2.5, 3 months later, after I canceled, and they had refused to take my call until about 3 weeks after the fact. And I called them, several times each week.
Brigitte, did you give Home Pride any money whatsoever?
No, I didn't.
Okay, hold on. I'm just going to ask questions. Did Home Pride do any work?
None whatsoever.
Okay, now hold on. Now, next question. The problem today is they are trying to collect, yes or no?
Yes, they're trying to collect $7,626.
Okay, that's the problem. They're trying to collect because that's their cancellation fee. Is that right?
Well, it says cancellation fee is as a rule 10%.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, I might be stuck paying.
Okay, but why are they charging you? Why are they trying to collect about 50%?
That's what I would like to know.
Okay, we're going to find out for you. But Brigitte, this is good news. You don't have to go into every detail. You hired a company. You changed your mind. They did no work. Now they're trying to collect about $7,000, right?
7,600.
Okay, and you don't know why. And you'd be happy to pay them 10%, right?
Right. And that's part of this 7,000 sum. There's also finance costs on here.
Well, did you sign up for a loan?
No, I did not. I had called in the next.
All right, hold on. I'm going to give this to some. Hold on. We're going to give this to somebody to call them for you to find out, okay? And people, I want to say something because this is the time to say it. If you're thinking about a bathroom like she was, Renew Home Innovations, okay? I know Nick, I know the crew, they would never do this to people. RenewHomeInnovations.com. Now, if they ordered stuff and it showed up, that's one thing. Or if Home Pride did something and we're not hearing about it, we need to know. But Renew Home Innovations, special prices for seniors, for veterans, beautiful showers, beautiful tubs, new showers that are rectangular. You can no threshold to walk over or to wheel over or to just walk in. Now, RenewHomeInnovations.com, 303-904-2000. Meanwhile,
did this happen in November of 2017?
Well, hold on. No, she bought the house in 2017. Brigitte, when did you sign that?
No. I bought the house last October of last year.
Okay. When did you sign the contract? When did you sign the contract?
November 17, I signed a contract. And since November 21,
okay, the 17th. All right, hold on. Can you call them?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Deputy Doc is going to call Home Pride and get the bottom line on this. Hold on, Brigitte. She went around the block on that one.
What do you mean around the block? She went around the world.
But see, you got to do it, man. You got to get to the story. Isn't it weird? I tell businesses all the time. They never tell you. She remembers every step.
That's right.
It's an entire story. It's never just a problem. So when a business tells me, but it was just some chip paint, we're going to come back. But she goes back to the first time she met you, and everything that happened up to that point. It's not like it's just one problem, because that little one problem triggers all the others, the memory.
People don't know the meaning of the word succinct.
The overnight low drops to 21.
They have a problem.
Friday and through the weekend,
with cutting to the chase.
Reaching the mid-60s. Currently, it's 47.
It's
For Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin. 6:30. Hey, how? If April is showering your company with open job positions, check out Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor your first job today and get hiring by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
You know, my key to health is So I have Rocky Mountain IV Medics give me IV treatment, and I get it for vitamin deficiency sometimes, for dehydration, whatever is ailing you. I do it for general overall health. Many people do. They'll come to you, and it doesn't cost you any more than going to an IV bar. So if you're dehydrated, you have the flu, you want to get over the hump, you just feel like maybe altitude sickness for one of your visitors, they come to you. Doctor-supervised medical professionals at your home. And remember, it's not expensive. It's the same price as any IV bar. Rocky Mountain IVMedics.com. They're dispatched like ride shares, so you can text them for same hour appointments. 720-987-2155. Call or text 720-987-2155. Simply Floors is Simply Floors. That's simply the best way to do business. You have design consultants that help you make your right choice and the right colors and the right design. Even if you know what you want, they'll still help you. Now, here's the other part. The best prices, the best installers, the best financing, all from Buddy and Karen Mitchell at simplyfloorsinc.com. That's where you make your own appointment, simplyfloorsinc.com.
Broncos fans, if you bleed orange and blue, you are not going to want to miss Steve Atwater, The Road to Canton, on April 21st at 8 p.m. on Denver 7. Find out how Steve Atwater became the smiling assassin, won back-to-back Super Bowls, and was immortalized in Canton, Ohio. Steve Atwater, The Road to Canton, brought to you by Icon Pass, the preferred ski pass of Broncos country.
Are you one of the billions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hilton with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash-out refi program and pay off high-rate credit cards, car loans, or other high-interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right. Whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669. NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
If you have questions about your roof, call Excel Roofing, 303-761-6400. Hey guys, it's Jay Bricks, the owner of Excel. This is our 29th year in business. When you need someone to help you with your roof, you can trust Excel Roofing. Call 303-761-6400 for roof inspections, roof repairs, and complete roof replacements. We do it all from inexpensive roofs for your rental to top-of-the-line bulletproof hail-resistant roofs. At Excel, you don't pay a cent until you're content. Excel is the most trusted roofer in Denver for the last 29 years. Same owner, same number. 303-761-6400. That's 761-6400. Or go to excelroofing.com. What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs. The first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.org, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath & Beyond. Navage, clean nose, healthy life. The art of granite, and more. Right now, quartz is popular, and he has all of the latest colors. He is fabricating quartz daily. The material is wholesale to you. Even the tear out and roll away is free. And the gas fee is free when you have the kitchen done. You can get prices on the phone. Just give him a call. Give him some measurements, send him a photo, and you get a price. Don't miss out on his special deals. The art of granite. 303-386-5919. Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome. Let's talk. What's on your mind? We're going to call Home Pride to find out what's going on because it's kind of important. that this woman understand why she's paying more than the normal cancellation fee. Holly, welcome to the show. What's happening with you? What's happening? Holly?
Hello.
What's going on? Hi.
Hi.
What's happening?
So I live in one of the original income-restricted and affordable housing complexes here in Boulder, Colorado. We were established in 2015. My partner is actually one of the original tenants, as well as many others who still
Now,
live
is
here.
this a rental or an owner?
Rental.
Okay.
It's called Depot Square Apartments. It's owned by Avanath Capital Management.
And what was it? It was established in 2015. And what were the rules on rent?
You had to meet a certain income in order to live here per your household. So one person, two people, three, and so
I got
forth.
it. And what about rental, like rents? They were controlled, right?
Yes, I believe to a degree. I don't know the exact number because I'm still in the process of
and
kind of finding
what's
all
the
this
name?
out.
What's the name of the complex?
Depot Square.
Depot Square. Did you say like train depot?
Yep.
Okay, got it. So what's the question?
So we are having issues with this property management company.
Like what?
The property manager has done no maintenance since she took over in 2020. And I mean basic cleaning and taking care of the building to the point that we have major code violations, structurally, fire, electric. We've had unpermitted work done. And the reason that I started looking into all of this is because I started noticing major problems going on within our common walkway that caused our electrical to go out in our parking garage.
So, would you call these dangerous conditions?
Oh, absolutely not. And they're not. Some of them are non-ADA compliant, and we do have citizens here who are seated and use the elevators.
Did you? Let me ask you this: did you complain to Boulder Housing?
Yes. So we had started with our property manager, and she just gives us retaliation. When we go and complain, she'll send demand and compliance for or possessions letters to us. Or in fact, the one tenant is actually going through an eviction process because she's trying to evict her because she doesn't like her. It's more bullying tactics. I decided to go ahead and start going and.
All right. So what do you want us to do? Because this sounds like an easy thing to remedy, or at least to make some noise, if truly they're not doing their job and there's dangerous conditions, building, zoning, health department, there's all kinds of places to complain to.
So I went to the building department. I have the building department involved, and they're now starting the process. I have an active investigation with the Boulder Police because we have a tenant here who's lived here for 2 years, and she has done more issues with crime and having involvement with crime, and she's still allowed to live here. And on normal conditions with the lease agreement, you would evict her. But this tenant has never been evicted. She's actually just been moved into a new apartment building and has even started more crimes and issues. Like
what kind of crimes? What kind of crimes?
They run a chop shop out of their.
Are you kidding me? Wait a minute.
No, so I've been documenting it for over 2 years.
Okay, so Boulder Police is involved. You have the building department involved. Did you call the health department?
I haven't heard anything back from them. I haven't heard anything back from the community of Vitality because as an affordable housing complex, we're also charged the highest rate of parking here in the city. We pay $75 to $90 a vehicle, so I pay $150 because I have 2 vehicles. Both my vehicles have been broken into.
All right. Well, look, at the breaking in part I can't help with, but I can do this.
No. But I mean, it's an unsafe
But
area.
this is ridiculous, though, as far as the conditions. If they're non-ADA compliant, did you call the Center for ADA? I mean, we have a number that we have people we talk to. I forget. Wow, what the heck's the name of it?
I've called, but because I'm not disabled. They won't talk to me. I've been trying to find an attorney who would do a class action lawsuit against Avonhad.
Okay, now hold on. You're not going to get a class action because it's not a big enough class. You're really not. You could do what's called a joinder suit where all of the tenants join in. But let me ask you something. Who can pay for it? Because there's not a lot of damages here that you're thinking that an attorney's going to do it on contingency.
That's what I don't know. I don't know if there's not enough because I feel like out of 71 units, when you have 90% of us who have lived here and complained and gotten nowhere.
Let me ask you this. How many units are there?
71.
Okay. Well, you're not going to want to hear this, but each one would have to at least chip in $500 to get any kind of a lawsuit off the ground.
Okay.
Now, it may not cost that. The management company, if they had any brains, when a lawyer writes a letter with a few $100, would back down. But I do have an attorney you can talk to. But do you think you'd be able to get tenants to chip in for an attorney?
Possibly. I mean, I'd have to really talk to my neighbors and tenants. I have a good rapport because I started.
Let's put it this way. I think you guys could all do a lot. And by the way, you need to know this. I have nothing to do with this. I mean, as far as this is not money. I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about commission. I'm not talking about anything like that. What I'm talking about is if you hired an attorney, I think you could get a lot done for $100 a unit, because that would be a big enough retainer to write letters, threaten, and draft a lawsuit and probably get results. But I think what we ought to do is consult an attorney first and see. Brad O'Brien, I'd like to call Bradley O'Brien, our real estate attorney, and get him on to consult with you. So hold on. Let's explore this. But, man, you got to demand results, and I can put somebody on this, by the way, one of our deputies as well, to start making noise at the building department and the health department, and that could help, just us making noise. Hold on. We'll come back to you.
Now, impact traffic.
I called Home Pride.
Yeah.
We don't talk to third parties, and then they hung up on me. So let's go on the air and light them up.
We do have a good drive on 225 as well. Now, just a heads up, if you're traveling southbound on Parker Road heading towards 225,
you light up my life.
Dartmouth and 225. 31 pinpoint weather, partly cloudy, a high of 58 for today. Gusty winds this afternoon. The overnight low drops to 21. And then for Friday and through the weekend, dry with high temperatures reaching the mid-60s. Currently, it's 47. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin. 6:30. Hey how.
If your company needs to spring into efficient hiring, then check out Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I love when lenders do something for you, and Ideal Home Loans, they have the interest rate guarantee. Now, you may think rates are too high, I'm not going to refi, but many people can still benefit from refining, especially if they're paying off high-interest debt. And what Ideal will do is give you the interest rate guarantee, so you won't miss out if rates go down. They'll refinance you free of charge, so at least get in now at around 5%, get it done, and then you can always refinance if they go down. If they go up, then at least you're at a lower rate no matter what. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. First they listen, then they lend. What I mean by that is, in addition to the interest rate guarantee, you may want to calculate cash out, lower term, lower payment, or shorter term. You may want the pre-approval if you're out shopping, which is like a cash deal, money set aside in your name. So when you find a house, you're like a cash buyer. IdealHomeLoans.com for your next ideal home loan. 303-867-7000. 303-867-7000. You know, if you are facing an insurance problem of any kind, or flood, okay, pipes breaking, mold, asbestos, unattended death, you could have a meth lab even. It's so many things could happen to your property, you need a restoration company, and you need American Restoration 24/7. The reason I recommend American is because I know the restoration business. I've dealt with many restoration companies, and they're usually liars, cheats, and ripoffs, and that's simply a fact. People love getting in the restoration business because they can rip people's faces off, and people have insurance pay for it, so they think, hey, nobody's going to complain. But if your insurance company pays and you still have mold and all that other toxic stuff in your home, they're not going to pay again if you hire the wrong company. So hire the right company, American Restoration, with all the EPA certifications and experience, and they will work with your insurance. They will work with your public adjuster. 8337-AMREST. 8337-AMREST. Online, amrest247.com. David Ellis Jewelry buys gold, silver, platinum, any valuable metals, anything you see, you can sell to David Ellis. Old jewelry, earrings, broken watches, coin collections. David Ellis Jewelry, 3rd and Clayton. He weighs it and pays it on the spot. Local jeweler, local businessman. I've known him for probably the whole 40 years he's been here, and you can trust him. DavidEllisJewelry.com. You can give him a call or drop by 3rd and Clayton. His number, 303-322-8779. 303-322-8779.
Or back can be a serious hit to your happiness and way of life. Pain relief doesn't have to mean an endless cycle of medication and doctor visits. Spine One's effective, minimally invasive treatments for back, neck, and joint pain have helped Colorado live pain-free for more than 20 years. And with same-day appointments at Spine One, you can get the help you need today. If you're ready to get your life back from back pain, call Spine One today. 303-367-BACK or go online at spineone.com.
This is Dan Kaplis. Obviously, I hope you never suffer a catastrophic injury. If God forbid you are in that situation, please note big cases are usually fought at a very high level, and the quality of your counsel can make a life-saving, multi-million-dollar difference in the outcome of your case. Our track record in big cases speaks for itself. We're a serious firm for serious cases. We take righteous cases on a percentage fee basis. If you want help, please give me a call at 303-770-5551 or hit DanKaplislaw.com.
When you're sick, injured, or experiencing an urgent medical problem, the last thing you want to do is leave your home to find care. Now, thanks to Dispatch Health, you don't have to, because Dispatch Health brings the power of the hospital to the comfort of your home. That's right, receive same-day, high-quality care from expertly trained medical professionals in the comfort and privacy of your home. Just call or click, and Dispatch Health comes to you, able to treat common to complex issues, including infections, flu, pneumonia, migraine, dehydration, UTIs, COPD, COVID-19, and much more. It's really that simple. Go to DispatchHealth.com to learn more. And now, Dispatch Health has advanced capability to deliver IV fluids and even take X-rays in the home. It's really that powerful. Plus, they're affordable and in-network with most health insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicare Advantage. So the next time you're sick or injured, stay home, stay safe, and let Dispatch Health come to you.
630 KHAL, an iHeart radio station.
No, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. We are here to help you in so many ways. And don't forget Frank Duran, the real estate man, for accurate market analysis of your home on what it will sell for, and it's free of charge, complimentary, no obligation to list. Of course, you won't find anyone better. But if you want to know what your house will sell for, not what Zillow says, not what an appraisal says, but what he actually knows it can sell for based on his experience, it's 303-920-1622, 303-920-1622. So, okay, Wayne's got a comment on Holly's issue. And Holly was calling about the affordable housing in Boulder, and the property manager is derelict, non-ADA compliant, unpermitted work, dangerous conditions. Wayne, what is your suggestion or comment for Holly?
Well, yes. I mean, the property management company is generally hired by the owners or the HOA, and repair and maintenance and some of those issues if the property management company does not have enough funds in the account, then they can't conduct the work unless they do a special assessment or something else. I know she's got other issues.
Well, hold on. This is not a condo development, though. They are apartments.
Right, but apartments, townhomes, somebody hired the property.
That's right. That's exactly right. So you're saying it's an ownership issue, maybe more so than the management company. Brad O'Brien is our real estate attorney, and I just want to ask him in general. Brad, let's just say 70 renters at an affordable housing project wanted to bring a lawsuit or at least write a letter or threaten management because of non-ADA compliancy, dangerous conditions, unpermitted work, etc. If they chipped in, I mean, that could be a pretty good fund to get started, couldn't it? If there's 70 units, well, even $100 each is $7,000 to start writing letters and at least I think the property management and ownership will cave once an attorney is involved.
Well, it makes sense to start off with a letter rather than jumping straight to a sort of court action to try to resolve it outside of court.
Right.
And yeah, put the concerns in writing and try to get them resolved.
What do you think it would cost to do a stern letter and have it done and sent to them and make sure they get it, even maybe personal service or something or registered mail? What would something like that, a few hours?
Yeah. And, to write a letter like that, I have to get up to speed and understand what the problems are and talk to the client and to write a letter and that they get them to agree to it, to the form of it before it's sent out. So an hour or two of my time.
Rough cost. I'm just trying to give these residents an idea.
I'd say $500 to $1,000 to get a letter like that out.
That's what I thought, and that includes interviewing them and getting up to speed. Do you know, does the AD? Do you know? I'm not sure. I know you do real estate law, but I don't know if you ever ran across this. Have you ever represented landlords, or have you ever represented people when it came to ADA compliancy?
Well, I don't practice in ADA law, but I do represent both landlords and tenants on various matters. But typically, ADA compliance is something you have to look at the time of you're renovating a property that triggers the inspections for ADA compliance.
And if during the establishment of this is an affordable housing complex in Boulder. And if there were truly dangerous conditions or unpermitted work or stuff like that, I don't know what defense they would have. I mean, to me, you write them a letter saying, "Hey, Go ahead."
I've already had Boulder Code. I've already had a compliance specialist come in here. I'm getting my master's in code and compliance. So this building became my dissertation. I brought him in here after I called him and pleaded with him, and he's the one who's helped me get them because I was like, this isn't structurally sound. And he was like, no, that's not. They have to have a structural engineer come in here.
Okay. That is, if you have that information and you can supply that to an attorney, Brad is just one of a real estate attorney. We use him. He's our expert. But if you can do that, and I'll have Kelly give you his number, your next step is to have a letter written. But we are also going to get involved. Okay, hold on.
I should have had Done Right do it. Don't be that person that says this after ordering your remodeling project. Right, Dad?
You've got that right, Todd. Hi, folks. Dan Cicchini, owner of Done Right Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. Simply put, we make people happy. Ever since the 80s, we've proven ourselves by being picky. Tell the folks, Todd.
Well, there's only one way we'll resurface cabinets. 1/4 inch, glued and nailed. Replacement kitchens, only custom-built cabinets by our own people for a fabulous look. Bathrooms, you can count on the tried-and-true Done Right bathroom renovation system. And windows and entry doors? Dad, how about your 2 cents worth?
Well, it starts with a quality window or door, yes, but I'm here to tell you that preparation, installation, and finish are exactly why they'll be able to join those that say, Done Right, did right by me. So, folks, whether it's kitchen...
As always, you have our word for future right with them. 303-722-2295, 800-362-37, or PRHI.com.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. It's Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Come on, man.
Mornings at 10. Streaming
Jesus.
live on our free
Blue
iHeart radio
Mountain
app
Circle.
and at KHOW.com.
Blue Mountain Circle.
ABC News, I'm Monica Sarandi. The suspect in the subway shooting is due in federal court today in Brooklyn. Frank James is facing one terror-related charge for shooting 10 people inside a subway. Investigators say the 62-year-old made the call to police to turn himself in during the manhunt. Robert Boyce is a former NYPD chief of detectives and ABC News contributor.
I think the pressure at that point was so intense throughout the city, it starts working on the mind. And so I'm not surprised he called.
Investigators are still working to determine a motive. President Biden is heading to North Carolina, where he'll deliver remarks on ways to rebuild supply chains and help the U.S. economy due to pandemic slowdowns, along with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. That as first-time jobless claims rose by 18,000 last week compared to the week before. Billionaire Elon Musk making a major move to buy all of Twitter. He's already the largest shareholder. In his filing with regulators, Musk says he thinks the social media company should be made private. This is ABC News. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is walking back some of the mandatory inspections at one border crossing, as the White House says the delays are causing supply chain issues. ABC's Cecilia Vega.
Even customs officials are saying that the secondary inspection is unnecessary. Some of Abbott's Republican supporters are calling this a political stunt as well. Now, facing some of this pressure, he did yesterday agree to walk back some of these secondary inspections at just one port of entry because the Mexican governor there agreed to do additional inspections. But the backups are expected to stretch into today.
The governor issued the order saying the administration isn't doing enough to stop criminals and drug smugglers from entering the U.S. Cleanup is underway following damaging storms from Nebraska to Alabama. In Arkansas, one woman was killed when a tree crashed the roof of her home. When Neil Armstrong went to the moon in 1969, he brought back some moon dust, a tiny amount, just sold at auction for $500,000. Mona Kosarabdi, ABC News.
Shit, I would have brought back a pocket full.
When they Google you, search engines don't always get it
I
right.
I'm not sure those
It's
suits
your
have pockets, Tom.
online. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free
2 million, 5 million,
in New York.
at least 17 million.
81.
Wait, where is it? Oh, wait, in the Baltics. Wait. Never mind. Hold on, never mind. Murdoch's in New York, 1 Madison Avenue, 62 million. Wow. It's a 3-floor condo. Oh my God.
Addicts away in
62 million. It's got the fucking, oh my God, when you see this thing. Holy shit.
The bill was originally designed
Floor to ceiling glass and the views of entire Manhattan panoramic. Wow. But still, that as a fucking apartment in Denver or somewhere else, I mean, how many, let me see how many square feet. Okay, it's 3 floors, 7,000 square feet. 3 fucking floors.
The red flag warning runs.
Oh my God.
You want to put a bid in, Tom?
I'm Chad Bauer. Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Really not a bad drive at this point on our major metro highway.
And if you want, then he has one below that for 1 floor. It takes up the complete floor of the building. This one, 3 complete floors of the building for 62 million. His other one is 16 million, but that's just 1 floor. That's his guest suite.
I could hide out in this guest suite and he'd never find me.
You know, there's rich, and then there's
tomorrow.
Something above that.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. That's a great word for it.
God, this fucking condo is outrageous.
If April is showering your company,
That's the beauty of capitalism. You know, if you work hard.
There's no window coverings because it's floor to window. I mean, he's up at the 59th, 60th. And
There's no window coverings?
none.
What
Well,
about the
no,
sun?
I don't know. I mean, they might be electric. They look hidden to me. Okay, they might be. But it's the 58th, 59th, and 60th floors.
Well, there's no blinds for privacy, but you need something to protect from the sun.
I forget what that view is he has there. That one. He's right next to this. God almighty.
Water softener starting at $2,195 installed.
I mean, even studios are going 5,000 a month. And the rents are just out of sight. And everybody's moving to across the river to Jersey or to Brooklyn. Even Brooklyn is getting out of reach of most people.
5 miles your risk. 9 a.m. Saturday, 6:30 a.m.
Do you know the upkeep on some of these mansions? This one mansion here, you know, it's really a fucking headache if you're not a multi-billionaire.
Well, exactly. You know,
1,000.
what about these people who have those super yachts, Tom? They cost between $1 million and $1.5 million just to maintain every year.
Is it possible that
Call, text, and now talk back anytime with our free iHeartRadio app while streaming KHOW with a full screen player. Just click the microphone to record your message. Talk back to Denver's Talk Station now.
It's 13 bedrooms, 13 baths. Guys,
I would have either 12 or 14. 13's an unlucky number.
oh, 1,000 square meters. What is that?
A little more than, considerably more than 3,000 square feet.
But it's got, no, it's way bigger.
9,000 square feet.
Looks way bigger. Hi, Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK is our number, 303-713-8255. Garage Magic can do magic in your garage. They'll do your garage floors, and they look beautiful. Polyaspartic coverings guaranteed for more than 20 years, and it's done by employees, highly trained, insured, and they do a beautiful job on patios, pool decks, sidewalks, aprons, and garages. Garage Magic. I'm happy to be hooked up with them. They do wonderful work. GarageMagic.com, 720-600-HOME. 720-600-HOME. All right. So, we're talking about all kinds of problems today. And really, when it comes to an apartment complex in Boulder that's non-ADA compliant or has unpermitted work or unsafe conditions, we're going to get Deputy Smarty Pants on that too. I know he's been listening, right, Talib? Did you get messages from him on the YouTube or whatever? Kelly, let's give this to Deputy Smarty Pants to rattle some cages in Boulder. In fact, that's his old stomping ground, I believe. 303-713-TALK. Mark, go ahead. Welcome, Mark. What's going on?
Good morning, Tom.
Hey,
I'm going to be selling my motorhome to a private seller in the near future. I'm going to be offering it for sale. So expecting the transaction to be, let's say, $30,000. I'm wondering what's the best way for me to make this transaction and collect the money without getting ripped off?
Okay. If it's a straight transaction, no trade, no financing, and you have the title, is that the case?
That's correct.
Okay. Then the only form of payment I would take is a wire to my account, verified, and then transferred to another account so he can't back it out, and make sure it's an irreversible wire or a cashier's check. But listen to my caution on a cashier's check. If the person is not local, you're not going to take the cashier's check. The cashier's check is only for someone local, and you meet them at their bank. And you take that cashier's check, and you go to the counter at their bank and immediately have it cashed and transferred to a cashier's check that you're buying. Okay? Don't keep that cash. Don't deposit that cashier's check. If you don't cash it at his bank or her bank, Don't do it. Now, you can always take cash as well, but sometimes these banks need advance notice. But that's the only forms of payment I would take.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.
You do have the title in hand, right?
That's correct.
Another way to do it, too, is an escrow agent. That's a little more complicated, but you could go to maybe Century RV and ask them to do it for you and pay them a percentage, or you pay them a small fee. But you can do it alone if you're at the bank. But you have to make sure you're at that person's bank and it's cash right there. And look, and you got to get identification, take a picture of their license. I'm serious. It's really important. All right, we got a question about landscaping. Denver, what's happening?
Yes, Mr. Martino. I am in the process of trying to establish a couple of garden beds.
Okay.
And I have been trying to do that for at least 2 years.
You know, it's really difficult. Landscaping is a big area of ripoff.
Yes, it is, because they have come to my home. I've had 2, 3 that have come to my home. They have measured. We have said, okay, we're going to do it in October, like last year. And I've never heard from them again. It has been a consistent response.
Then count that a blessing, because if they don't even respond to someone who wants a job, can you imagine after you give them money what happens?
Well, they didn't get my money.
Now, what kind of landscaping do you want?
I got a lot of landscaping, but right now my immediate concern is that I have 2 raised beds, a 5x10 and a 4x8, that need to be leveled. My land kind of slopes. I've gotten it almost there, but I'm a little senior lady, and I'm having trouble digging anymore.
Well, you don't want to dig. And is it something you need a bobcat for, or a powered thing, or is it something that can be done by hand? Do you know?
I've done it by hand. Most of it's done. It can be done by hand. It's just that I can't seem to get that slope area in the front of the bed, level.
All right, let me give you some good people, okay?
Okay, just a moment. Let me get a pencil. Okay, go ahead.
Now, these are really top-of-the-line people, okay? They're not going to cheat you, but they're not going to be, $2 an hour people. I'm not saying they're extra expensive either. Mr. Green Jeans.
Wait a minute, Mr. Martino, I'm in Colorado Springs.
Okay. You got to call them and see if they'll go there. Well, let me see Colorado Springs. I'm going to check that out, too, now that you tell me that, because we do have people. I hope we have someone down there. So let me just do that.
I hope so, too.
Well, these people might go down. You know what? They might go down. We just have to figure it. Let me put in Colorado Springs, and I'm doing this in the referral list, referralist.com. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Let's see what we come up with. Yeah, we don't have anyone directly down there right now, but here's what we do. I want you to call. They might have references for you. If you go to referralist.com and just put in landscaping, you'll find Mr. Green Jeans. Mr. Green Jeans. I'm going to give you a number, 303 426 4945. Now, there's another one. These are the top of the top. And we have others, like we have sprinkler services and arbor care and trees and shrubs, but you're talking about landscape construction. Sherrick, Sherrick. Now, what they do is concrete flat work. They do hardscapes, decks, patios. They may know someone, even though they don't do straight landscaping. It is, those flower beds could be part of what they do. They are a construction company. They're really good people. 303-439-9900. Now, one thing that I would do is I would call down there. We have a home builder down there that is a really good home builder. They're called Garden of the Gods Homes, okay? Now, why would you call them? Because every single home they do, model and otherwise, needs landscaping, right? They probably know some really good people. Have you heard of them, Garden of the Gods Homes?
Yes, I have heard that name.
You call them and say, Tom Martino speaks very highly of you, And I'd like to know if you know of any good landscapers. That might help you tremendously.
Okay. And they're in the book, I assume.
Yeah, and listen, no matter who you hire, you should never have to pay money up front unless it's for materials delivered or plans or work beginning. You pay as you go.
Okay.
So let me know what you find, because we are looking for good landscapers in Colorado Springs. And if anybody's listening and knows of any, give us a call, 303-713-TALK.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills? Sound familiar? You are one of the millions of men with prostate problems.
Well, at least they're not talking about Navage for a change.
Yeah, but they'll be talking about Navage for your prostate.
Yeah, I know.
Not one fucking thing I've ever taken has helped.
With your suggestion?
No, prostate.
Oh.
I mean, not that I have problems. I mean, but I you know, overnight.
We got some mild BPH?
Yes. Nothing helps.
Really?
I tried all of those drugs. Everyone they have.
Did you get it from a urologist?
Not the drug, but Terry knows. The same exact ones they would prescribe.
What have you tried?
Do it now.
Genesis Total Exteriors. You can trust Genesis for great work on all of your outside stuff. That's why they call them Genesis Total Exteriors. Home improvements from roofing, gutters, siding, doors, windows, decks, painting, outbuildings, and they even do solar. The solar is a great alternative to the rest of the industry because they do a 25-year guarantee on your actual performance. So if you're not generating what they predicted and not getting the savings, they actually write a check, a rebate every year for that. And normally they don't have to because they work. Also, they do all of the exterior. 303-679-8509. In this age of ripoffs, you need to trust GenesisTotalExteriors.com. I like reverse loans in certain circumstances when done right. That's why we only have certain approved lenders. One of them is, oddly enough, the name is ApprovalReverse.com. Joan Sullivan and her team have been taking care of seniors. They can structure a reverse loan for you that won't hurt you, whether it's a lump sum, monthly payments, or a line of credit. And you will never be upside down in that loan. And just pay your taxes and insurance like any loan, and you never lose your home. 303-771-3528. 771-3528. Man, when it comes to the fires and hail and flood, not floods, but like broken pipes, or when it comes to hail damage, wind, this Colorado has so many insurance claims. And one thing I can tell you for sure, no matter who your homeowners is, your policy, you're not going to be treated fairly, especially if it's one of the big five: State Farm, Farmers, Allstate, Fred Loya, American Family. They suck. But even the other ones suck when it comes to adjusting your claim. You need to get a public insurance adjuster. I would never even dream of having an insurance claim without an adjuster. Okay, so here's the way it works. Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado will take a look at your claim free of charge. They'll let you know if they can help you, even if you've already started the process, or even if a claim has been closed and you've been paid. If you haven't been paid properly, they can go back and reopen it. You ought to give them a call. I'll give you that number, 720-715-0000. Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. On your side, free reviews of your claims, and if they take it, they'll always get you more than you could ever get on your own for a small contingency. COClaims.com, that stands for Colorado, of course, COClaims.com.
I didn't want to hit it a second time, but I hit it. Did you have to do it? I hit it. So did you hit it?
Like cleaning your nose? No, I didn't know it was acting up. Sorry. For trapping dirt and germs.
What were you saying? I'm sorry, bro.
How about during the day? Do you have to use the restroom frequently?
Yeah, but not at night. At night, it's every 3 hours.
Really?
Sometimes no, I get up every 3 hours to 4 hours for sure. Like if I go to bed early, like 10, I'll get up at 2.
And then 5?
And then for sure at 4.
Wow.
I mean at 2 and then 4:30 or 5. And then at 6, yeah, I talk to him all the time.
No, what about surgery? Having a,
that's what he said.
Yeah. Having a ring out.
Well, okay. Part of the reason I don't want to go to a urologist is because just the diagnostics. I don't want them to do that scope. I cannot live through it. I mean, I'd have to do conscious sedation for that.
Really? I had it done. You don't feel anything.
No.
It's up here.
No, I'll faint. No. Doc, I swear to God, it's one of the biggest fears I have in my life. Don't ask me why. Could they do conscious sedation? I would do it. And I would pay for it. Okay?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. But the surgery, I don't give a shit. You help me out, do anything you want. He said there's a new procedure, minimally invasive, where they restrict the arteries going to your
prostate
from each end.
Yeah, and it shrinks because it dies.
No, they don't want to kill your prostate. No. They just shrink it.
Right.
They leave enough blood, but I don't know. So
I had the roto-rooter done a long time ago. It worked great.
But
in other words, what's happening is
I know your prostate is wrapped around your urethra,
right?
And it squeezes it.
Yeah, so you just open it up.
Okay, but the diagnostic, oddly enough, I'm not afraid of the surgery. Right. It's a day surgery.
Right, you're in and out.
Right. Are you sore?
Not really.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Do you know a really good urologist?
I used to.
Okay, is he old and out?
Well, they're out. The maniatis is great.
I should ask Terry that.
Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. I can't say enough good about these guys, only because they do every service for your garage door, everything you need, whether it's just lubrication, hinge bolt tightening, inspections, or you need a panel on the door, a whole new door, or you need an opener. And all of their prices, listen to this, are on their website. One Clear Choice Garage Doors, a great company, 24/7 emergency service. And here's where you find out more. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. 720-370-3987. People, one thing I want to tell you is I truly take my commercials seriously. I look at them as content of the show. It's not like another show where it's okay, let's break away. It's part of what I do. So you call me and you let me know if you have feedback on advertisers, and we will take care of problems. That's just a fact of life. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. In case you're looking for maybe a condo in New York City, Rupert Murdoch has a 3-floor condo. He takes up 3 complete floors. The 58th, 59th, and 60th floor. And it's up for sale right now for $62 million. So if you'd like, 58th, 59th, and 60th floors for $62 million. Now, if that's too rich for your blood to leave, you can get a floor under that. He has another one, a guest suite, the entire 57th floor, and all that is $16 million. So you can get that one instead of the $62 million one. Now, let's talk to Mark, who has a question about collections. Mark, what's happening?
In the air already. Hey, Tom. Hey, I got a scenario I want to run by you. I have a friend that has a home equity line that he defaulted back on 2008.
Yeah.
She's going to sell the property, but that...
Wait, he defaulted on it? They never foreclosed?
No, they didn't. They basically purged it.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Explain this to me. Back in when? 2017?
No, 2008.
Oh, 2008. They put a deed. He had an equity line of credit, a HELOC.
Yeah, basically, but with a deed of trust.
Got it. Yeah, that's what a HELOC is. So on this HELOC, how much did he have out?
$27K.
Okay. Now, When you say they purged it, what does that mean?
Basically, he stopped paying on it, and I guess it means that they closed the account, and that's just what they told us.
Okay, no. They don't walk away. They don't walk away from that. Here's what happened. They didn't pursue it. But rest assured, if he has to do an O&E on that house. Now, there are a couple things going on. If they ever did release it, or they would be crazy. I don't know why they would. Even if they take the loss, do you understand? People think if you write off the debt, you no longer have a right to collect it. Au contraire, you have a right to collect the debt so long as a couple things don't happen. If you don't collect it within 6 years in Colorado, you lose your right to get a judgment. But with a lien on the property, such as a HELOC, you don't need a lien because you don't need a judgment because that is a judgment. So in other words, if they still have a second deed of trust on his home and never released it, it's still there, even if they wrote off the debt. So the way that would, I'll let you flush and all that, and I'll come back to you. But the way that works is they put it in suspension, but it comes back to haunt you. And not only is it 27 grand, but it will be 27 grand with default interest from 2008. So, brother, this man could be in very big trouble. But you have to do an O&E to figure that out. And we can do that for you. I mean, I can help you get that done. Now, Mark, how much is his first deed of trust?
144.
His first is 144. And how much is his house truly worth?
I'll say 400.
Okay.
Just to be conservative.
That 27 grand, if it's still a deed of trust, has been out there since 2008 with default interest. That's 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, okay, go to 18. That's 10 years. 18, then 19, 20, 21, 22. So it could be possibly 9 years of default interest. Added to the 27, to the 144, he may not have any equity or hardly any.
Well, I guess the question I'm calling on is with that statute, does it apply to
what statute?
Equity lines?
What statute?
The 6 years.
It applies to every debt. But let me explain this to you. It doesn't. Okay, if you take out, say you take out a loan, right?
Okay.
And you default on your mortgage, just a regular home mortgage. Forget about a HELOC. Now, there's a first deed of trust on your home. Now, let's say you stop paying. They don't expire in 6 years because the deed of trust is recorded on the home. Now, they can't come after you personally for a deficiency after 6 years. They can't do anything after 6 years that hasn't already been done. But the deed of trust has already been done. So they, in essence, can take the house.
Okay.
But let's say you had another kind of debt. Student loans are not covered by this, okay? So let's say instead of a student loan, let's say it is you have another kind of debt, a car debt, okay? Let's take that. And you default on a car debt. They have a lien on that car. They can take the car. So even if it's after 6 years, if they wanted the car, they could take it. But if it's a credit card, they can't take anything. So that 6-year statute means that you lose your right to get a judgment. But you don't need a judgment if you have a lien. So anything that is liened already does not expire.
Perfect. I've got another question for you. What if the collection company can't find the deed?
Then they can't foreclose. If they lost the paperwork, which is very likely, who's the lender?
It was Chase Bank.
Well, if it was sold and resold, there was an old ploy called "Show Me the Note." Do you remember that? That's when
that's why I'm calling. Yep.
There was a rash of foreclosures at one time, and they would say, "Show me the note. You're guaranteed your right to see that note, and if they don't have it, they don't have it." But man, I'll tell you this: rather than fool around with it, first I'm going to tell you. No, of course not. Here's the very first step: do a deed of trust. An O&E. An O&E stands for ownership and encumbrances, okay?
Yep.
What that does is it tells you a list of owners and liens against the house. That's the first thing. Okay? And if it does not show that HELOC, he's free.
It does. It shows it.
Oh, how do you know that?
We already pulled the O&E.
And what does it show?
It shows the HELOC.
For how much? For how much?
27.
Okay.
The original, yep.
Then he's in trouble.
Yep.
So.
Well, that's why I'm calling.
Here's what I would do. Who owns the O&E right now? Who owns it right now, according to that?
Collection company.
Oh, they're never going to let it go. They're never going to let it go. What collection company?
I don't know. That I don't know.
All right. You know what you might want to do? They probably bought it for pennies.
Right.
He may want to go and settle that first.
Right.
And buy it. Just settle it. Just pay it. Because, but here's what you have to do. You have to figure out what it would have been had it stayed with the bank. And then anything less than that will be a deal.
Okay.
Even twice as much.
Okay. Well, like I said, I just wanted to find out if there was.
I mean, otherwise, bro,
like,
do you understand? Do you understand default interest could be 19 and 20%? Do you know that?
Oh, I know. So, all right. Well, I definitely appreciate your time and.
Man, I'm telling you, this is something I hope. I mean, this could rob him of every penny of equity. That guy, that's a time bomb, bro.
KHOW Denver, 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station, available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
Now, how do you know these? Are these the old ones?
No, those I forgot to still track. Steve Rule is my urologist, and I'm really happy I've known since I was at Swedish. He's really well-trained, give those two guys.
And I'll tell him you told me.
Yeah.
Dr. Ken Manfred.
You tell him that.
He was examining my vagina and said, go see him.
No, I said, what's that thing sticking out?
Right now, no accidents, no stalls, no big problems on I-225 either direction. Fox 31.
All my paperwork was delivered from my car. By FedEx. I don't know where it was delivered, though.
Where are you picking your car up?
It doesn't tell me where the fuck it was delivered.
With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin. 630 KHOW.
God damn it. I want to know where it was delivered. It doesn't give the address. That's the thing. It never tells where it was delivered.
And unanswered questions.
Where are you picking the car up, Tom?
And confident in their return.
No, they're delivered.
I know, but where? To your house?
Ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. Why do I say that? Because it is an ideal loan the way they set it up. First and foremost, let's talk about the interest rate guarantee. Now, rates are about 5, and people are saying, oh, I don't want to refi, but you could still benefit. You still could, especially if you're paying off high interest debt, you're pulling cash out. So they can structure all that for you and give you the interest rate guarantee. So if in fact rates go down, they'll refinance you free of charge. In addition to that, you can also get a pre-approval if you're out shopping. People still need to buy homes. That pre-approval is like a cash deal. It puts you at par with a cash deal. In addition to that, they have credit optimization, which means if you are approved, they still look at your credit and give you hints and tips on getting a better credit score, like paying down a balance on a credit card by $200. They did that one time, saved a guy $100 a month in his payment because he got better pricing. Just talk to them. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan, 303-867-7000.
When you are sick, injured, or
When you come back, since there's nobody on, let's light up Home Pride.
Oh my God, you're right. I gotta call my wife. I just need to know where my fucking package is.
Where are they delivering the car?
To her house, or our house.
Oh.
Hey, babe, Federal Express said they delivered my documents for the car that's hot. Oh, thank you, honey. Okay, you got them. I didn't see the text, honey. Okay, I will. Okay, honey. I'll see you. Okay. Yeah, it's all that. Thank you. All right. Okay. Okay. All right, hon. See ya. Bye.
I'll tell you one thing, this Ukrainian thing proves that Putin will not dare to engage NATO. If a non-NATO country, a small country like Ukraine, can give him this much problem, can you imagine what the 30 coalition nations of...
You know what? His approval rating is 33%.
Right.
Do you know what shocks me?
That is 33%.
That there are 33% of the country thinks he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Now, come on. Honest to God, that shocks me. Even Talib doesn't think he's doing a good job.
Who, Putin? Putin?
Well, I'll tell you, Miss Kamala Harris is the epitome and the definition of word salad. She was talking about something the other day, and she said,
want to get paid twice when you sell your home? I know I would. Learn how and get
the government is aware of the issue. And because of that, we're aware of the issue, and we're going to
I know.
be aware of the issue.
I know, she's fucking crazy.
She is.
But you watch out, though. Don't say too much in front of Talib about her.
It's not racial.
I'm not talking about Rachel. He loves her.
No, he doesn't.
He thinks she's the best.
Talib thinks she's a moron, too.
Get the best deals at the sharpest price. I'm telling you, if you're looking at...
Could you imagine if Pelosi ever lost her fucking district?
If she lost her what?
Her district. Oh, she's up for re-election.
That would be unbelievable.
I mean, do you realize these people that have all this power are only getting the power from this much of the country? Like OAC. She's only elected by her district. She has the country doesn't vote on her.
She's one out of 235.
That's right. So can you imagine? All they have to do, if Republicans were smart, are attack people in their district, not attack the whole country. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't matter what they think about her in Ohio.
But that's what the RNC does. The RNC gathers money,
candidates for local,
and try and overthrow specific House seats.
Could you imagine overthrowing big mouths like Pelosi and AOC?
It would be so hard to do.
Oh yeah, is right in New York, that liberal bastion, and so in San Francisco, isn't that where?
Yeah, and same with.
Remember Tip O'Neill? He rubber stamped winner.
Yeah.
I don't think they had to count.
I'm trying to think who else you'd like.
How long was Tip O'Neill?
What?
How long was Tip O'Neill in there?
These people,
he was still there.
Biden. How long was Biden? 40 years?
They've never had a real job.
How the
They've
fuck?
always been.
Shouldn't they stop? No. Shouldn't there be term limits for senator?
There should be term limits to everything.
Biden was there for how long?
Wait,
40 fucking years.
Here's that. Look at that, Tom.
No. See, this is just bullshit. Do you know at this point, if a guy's unarmed and it's a fucking traffic stop, do you know what you do? Let him go. Take his license plate. No, do you think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding.
License plate and wait for him at his house.
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So I'm looking on TV, and I see a video of the police officer in Grand Rapids, Michigan, attacking that unarmed black guy who was fighting him. Okay, so he was wrong. The black guy's wrong. He was fighting him. Shouldn't get shot in the head, but he was wrong. He was wrong. But here's what I'm thinking. If you're stopping anyone, black, white, yellow, I don't care what color, I don't care what ethnicity, I don't care who you are, how old you are. If you're stopping someone for a non-violent, it's just a traffic stop.
This is just because his registration had expired on his plate.
I know. If you stop someone for a traffic violation and you have that much of a hard time, seriously, it's actually better, I think, let them just forget about it and you got their license plate, go after them, find them. I mean, I don't understand, or let them go and follow them and then call a helicopter or call another cop. But why do you turn this into and this, by the way, I'm not talking like a liberal. I'm not talking like a conservative. I'm talking like common sense. Why would you have a police engage like that for a traffic stop and kill someone? I don't care who they are. Why would you do it?
Cops that engage like that are cowboys.
Do you think so?
I know they are.
Or do you think they're afraid? They might be afraid, but if they're afraid, let them go. In other words, what is the harm in letting that guy go down the street in his car or run away? You have his license, you have his registration. What the hell? You can gather him up, right? Or there are worse suspects on the loose. Now, people might say, well, how do we know he's not a terrorist? Or how do we know he wasn't on his way to commit murder? Or how do we know this? Or how do we know that? I just don't get it. I don't get how these traffic stops turn out to be murders. I just don't get it. Now, I'm a police supporter. I swear to God I am. But not a cowboy supporter or not an idiot supporter. That black kid should not have run, okay? I say kid. He was, what, 29? Maybe 26. He's not a kid. 26. Okay. Everybody's a kid to me. But here's the bottom line. I'm wondering if we should teach people how to act with a traffic stop. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I'm not kidding, by the way. Because it's not just, by the way, okay, we seem to hear the majority happening to blacks, but I think if it happened to a white guy, it wouldn't make the news. If a white guy is wrestled to the ground and handcuffed and dragged in, I don't know if it would even make the news. I don't know. But what I'm saying is this. But it's still wrong. I remember a kid being pulled over one time. His mother was following him in a car, white woman. I only mention that because we're talking about race now. So she pulls up and gets out of the car and says, "Officer, that's my son. What's going on?" They tackled her to the ground, handcuffed her because she got out of her car. She was walking toward them, and it was stupid. So here's what I'm saying. Why don't we teach kids, when you get your license, one of the mandatory things is how to react to traffic stops. Like, keep your hands on the wheel. Don't reach for anything. Turn the lights on in your car if it's at night. In other words, what would be wrong with practical suggestions like that on how to act? And I mean that. How do you act in a traffic stop? Now, what's really funny is, and I don't mean it's funny, but it's a commentary, is when you see Tyler Perry in one of his movies, he's all the characters in the car, from his grandmother to aunt, uncle. They're all in the car, right? And Tyler's driving as himself. And they get stopped by a white police officer, and how each one of them, depending on their age, has a different reaction to the police, right? And because they're all black and they all have a negative reaction, thinking we're in big trouble. And the point I'm making is that I think now, with all the stuff going on, the young black man who stopped, he starts running. Maybe he truly is genuinely afraid, of being killed or something, and then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know what the answer is, but I think no matter who you are, if you get your license, we should be taught, and I mean even older people. I have seen people plummet to the ground because they either jump out of their car, or they reach for something in their glove compartment, or they're doing something stupid, as opposed to simply, look, keep your hand on the wheel, put the lights on, or don't do anything, don't reach for anything. When the officer says, license, registration, officer, can I open my glove? That's what I do. I say, I'm going to have to reach in my glove compartment. I do that because I know that they're going to react possibly in a negative way. What do you think?
Hey,
what do you
Tom.
think, Talib? Yes,
Hey,
Kelly?
Tom. I got a little thing to set your mind at ease here. Both of my kids just went through and got their licenses within the last couple of years. That's actually part of the classroom training.
No.
Is being instructed on what to do if you are ever pulled over by a policeman.
Are you really?
Yes.
Your kids.
Master Drive?
Was it Master Drive, or was it a
Drive Safe?
Drives. That's pretty cool. There could be no harm in educating in a standard education program. In fact, making it mandatory that you know how to act in a traffic stop.
Absolutely. And
a lot of people don't know they're supposed to sit still.
The thing is, you don't get out of the car unless the officer tells you.
I know.
If an officer tells you to either stay in or get out, he has the right to do that.
And I think that right now we're all just flustered and we don't know what to do. But it's weird.
Some people are flustered because they think that stuff will work.
Think what will work?
Cooperating and doing what you're trained and to do. But sometimes it just...
Now, I don't know what happened. I couldn't hear this guy. What happened to this guy when he was stopped? But he's talking to the police officer, right? What, was he not complying or something or what? I don't know what happened. We can't hear it. But man, how does that turn into killing him?
Cowboy cop.
You think so?
Yeah, these cops, some cops have just ego issues. And if you
well, no, that's for sure. I mean, look at I was helping a woman in a frickin' on Santa Fe. Her van broke down. She had a family of people in there from Pueblo. They were there for a surgery the next day for Children's Hospital. And I said, ma'am, let me pay to have your car towed to Pro Auto Care. They were down the street. They'll take care of you. I will take care of it. She was so grateful. Al Aramis was ready for her. He was going to take care of her. I'm on the phone with Al arranging this. The cop from Inglewood comes up, a real a-hole. He puts his hand on his gun and says, move away from the car. Now, come on. Come on. I said, excuse me, I'm helping this woman. Move away from the car, as if he's going to shoot me. And I said, can I help her? We're going to have her towed. And I said, and she's going to end up with a $500 bill in impound, and I have somebody who will take her free to an auto repair place, and I'll pay for it. And you know what he said? Leave now or you're under arrest. Now think about that. Is that using judgment? No, because they're jerks. That's why people hate the wrong kind of police, not the right kind. Hey, Keith, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Hey, how's it going, Tom?
Good.
Yeah, I was listening to what you're saying about all that. My great-grandfather taught my grandfather taught me, my dad, and then me, and all the way down to my son. It's a generational thing that when the police stop you, you have your license, registration, and all that in both hands on the wheel. Do not make any sudden moves.
Right, but in order to get that, you have to lean over sometimes. That's the problem. And while you're leaning over, I swear to God, they could just get the wrong impression, don't you think, Keith?
All the time. Yes, sir, all the time. And I'm an identical twin, and my brother was in the military, and he got stopped when he was in the military, and nothing happened. But when he got out and he got that traffic stop, they asked him, did he have to go, where's your license and all that? No, I'm sorry, your registration.
Right.
And he says, I need to reach for the glove compartment. And when he did that, the cop took 2 steps back and put his hand on his weapon. Scared the crap out of my brother. And it's all because of the fear that we have of the police of when we get stopped.
Well, yeah, no doubt.
Fear.
And then that fear, I think they're afraid too. I think that, I don't know what the answer is, but thanks, Keith.
If he's reaching in the glove compartment and all the cop did was put his hand on his gun, that sounds pretty reasonable to me.
Well, first of all, I say, look, I always say this. I have to go in my glove compartment. I put it open and say, there, it's in there.
Right.
I take caution, and I don't do it because I'm afraid they're going to kill me, but I don't want to give them a chance to react negatively to me. I think people should be taught this. Listen, I'm going to come to all of your calls. Jeremy, I see you there talking about a plumber.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. An accident trying to hit...
I got a 30-second spot right after this, and I will be glad to talk to you. Okay, so this is it all good. Good.
Email.
We'll get her on today. Is she waiting for us?
I don't know.
Okay, let me read it first.
Yeah, read it. That's from Amazon to her.
Thank you, ma'am. Multiple accounts.
Yeah, she has a number clue. Lauren Thalman is her writing name, and Irene Hockman's her real name. And they say she has 2 accounts, so they're canceled. She's a writer.
But
What if you do have two accounts? What's the big deal?
I don't know. They don't allow it, and they cancel her, and they have her books, and they won't release her books to her because she gets them printed from Amazon.
On demand?
Yeah.
Your first job today and get hiring by visiting
So, but you guys can talk to her and ask her any questions.
Colorado Pain Care Sport and Spine, dedicated to getting you out of pain and keeping you out of pain. I'm a patient, and I can attest to their effectiveness, not only of their doctors and procedures, but also their physical therapy. I love them all for getting me out of pain. Read about them. ColoradoPainCare.com. You'll find there are multiple locations where you can go to one convenient to you. And you'll also find that they have office hours from 7 to 7. And even same-day appointments. 303-GOT-PAIN.
Tune into the Mortgage Doctors.
I hope Elon Musk buys Twitter and has it totally uncensored, which is, I think, what he wants to do.
It is what he'll do.
Who was it that said that the only way to protect unwelcome speech is by more speech?
I don't know. She is home and she's available right now.
If you have any questions, did she reply?
Yeah. I mean, she is at home right now, so you can call her. She'll explain the whole detail to you.
Who is that, Tom? Is somebody who works here?
Upon further. All your books.
Rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of the cash out program and pay off high rate credit
With my registration in my glove compartment, my license in my pocket, and a cop standing outside my window. I don't care how many times I say to this guy, I want you to reach your glove compartment. I'm guided by what I'm looking at out this window. I'm looking at what appears to be an asshole to me out this window.
Yeah.
I'm not going to move. Okay. Why? Because I'm not stupid enough, okay, to get shot in the back of my head by somebody who's not stable. And you can see them now. You can literally see them.
Have you been stopped?
Yes.
Like, when was the last time? About 10 years ago, maybe?
No, the last time I got stopped by a cop was last year.
Okay. Was it a white cop?
Never been stopped by a black cop after I turned 19 years old.
Okay, so
in LA, I used to be stopped by.
So you stopped by a cop here in Colorado?
No, actually, I was in Kansas.
Was it negative?
It was a bullshit stop.
What? Because you're black?
No, it was a bullshit stop.
On
no,
what?
It was a bullshit stop, but ultimately it was because I was black.
What was the apparent reason? The stated reason?
The stated reason was that we were speeding.
You what?
The stated reason we were speeding.
Oh,
okay.
Were you with Melinda?
There are like 6 cars going along. I'm like maybe the 3rd car. Okay. The cop is 100 yards.
How did he treat you? Did he act like an asshole?
He was about to be an asshole, but he was about to be an asshole. He's walking around touching his gun and carrying on. Okay. And then
you have to step out of the car.
And then I ended up having to get out the car anyway because I didn't have my license in my pocket. My license was in one of our bags. Okay. So I'm like, I don't have my license. It's in one of these bags. Okay.
Was he mean or stupid?
He was
perturbed.
He was aggravated. Okay. He was aggravated because I
had to go through your bag.
No, I didn't. I stayed outside the car and I let Belinda go through the bag. Okay. And he's looking in the car, and then the fine. She never found the license. Okay, he ran us. He eventually let me go. He gave me a ticket. Okay, but the whole time, because of the way he stopped me, which I didn't get to explain to you. I was okay. Like I said, he's off the road 100 yards. He might have had 8 cars speeding. Okay, but he comes down, gets behind all these cars, and I literally watch him come up on each one,
and then stopped you. Hi, Tom Martino here.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, let's keep going here. Real quick, I'll take all of your calls, 303-713-TALK. Don, what's your question, sir? What's going on? Don, are you there, sir?
Yes, I am, Tom.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Well, I had a question about the asset manager liquid loan that we've talked about in the past.
Yes, what would you like to know, Don?
Well, it turns out I'm a good candidate. You and Mark thought I was. Kurt Rogers, his team, think I am. I have never really entered into something I don't fully understand.
Well, you ask any question you want. What do you need to know?
Well, what I need is just a push, just a little leap of faith, to enter into a loan that has an adjustable rate. And I don't fully understand how, I'm paying that rate, but I get paid back that rate on my line of credit. And
let me explain it to you. Okay, how much do you owe on your house?
About $140, and it's about a $500,000 house.
You owe $140. Okay, so the very first draw on the liquid loan will be $140,000, right?
Okay.
Okay. Now this is really important. Now, what interest rate do you have right now on that loan?
4.5.
Okay. You're going to have a higher interest rate always with a liquid loan over conventional, but you will pay less interest. Now, that sounds crazy, doesn't it?
A little bit.
Okay, here's why. How long are you going in that house?
Well, I don't know, but given, with this loan, at least another 10 years or so.
Okay. You're going to pay so much interest over that 10 years, it's crazy, and only a tiny bit of principal. So total interest paid in that 10-year period and total principal paid, most of it will be interest. And even though it's 4.5%, when you take that 10-year period, it's way more than 4.5% because you're paying it up front. Now,
so Tom,
but hold on. No, just wait one second.
Okay.
As soon as you take out the liquid loan, that $140,000, you're going to have a payment of approximately $300 and something of interest only, if that's what you pay. Even that's at the liquid loan rate. Now, what's great about that is you can pay that, or you can pay $1,000 in principal and $300 in interest for a $1,300 payment, which is still cheaper than a conventional loan where most of it will go to interest. So at the end of 10 years, doing the same payment, you're almost going to be paid off compared to a conventional loan. The simple interest alone makes it worth doing. Now, here's the other thing. How much money do you keep in the bank at any given time?
Not a ton, 30,000 maybe.
Okay, so now you take that 140,000 you have on your house, and if you have 30,000 in their bank, you're only going to pay interest on $110,000. Hold on.
Greenberry.
It's a no fucking brainer. The liquid loan is a no brainer if you have a loan.
It's a sweetie, I swear.
Peter Harris with breaking news. Our Greenberry cereals are packed with tons of plant.
No, but yeah, this car literally cruises along, passing each car.
Did you have landscaper on last week that will come out and
Each car one
do
at a time.
valuations at people's houses?
A landscaper? Valuations mean
evaluations like come out and look and see what needs to be done. This guy is calling in and saying that
an estimate. A landscaper that will give an estimate.
Evaluation of the job.
Really? Almost any of our landscapers will give estimates.
He was speaking specifically about somebody who will come to the house. And I'm like, all landscapers do that. So, and then I refer to him to referral list. I'm just gonna, he doesn't have a computer.
I don't really know
so,
what
What? Every place to go there.
He's elderly, so he doesn't have access to a computer, so.
Right. As long as it can be read.
Yeah.
You got that blackout cover on it, that was illegal. You got a cover that's reasonably dark. They may stop you and tell you you're going to get a ticket or take it off.
Right.
You can read your plate clearly. You can go, you follow that one right on into the courtroom and go about your business.
One terror-related charge. ABC's
This dude.
Police are still trying to track all of his movements. They have a pretty good idea of when he entered New York. He was seen
out of
driving
being an
his
asshole.
rented U-Haul van, according to
By
a
engaging him with conversation.
Arizona Bridge into Brooklyn at
But
about
had I
4 o'clock in the
not
morning
had a
Tuesday,
conversation
so
for him,
4.5
had
hours
we
before
not
the
been
attack.
quick to
Where
look
you
up
go
the fact that
from
he
there,
is
the NYPD
illegal
is
in
checking
this
out
state,
a
but there are
number
several
of
states that it's legal in,
spottings
and the
on
one
that
that we're
U-Haul
from happens
van.
to have it legal. Okay, we got all that information to this guy. He backed down, I believe, because he had no alternative.
Right, and also you were being reasonable.
Yeah.
You weren't being confrontational.
I didn't have, but I didn't have to be confrontational to have a problem with these guys.
Right.
You don't have to be confrontational with a cop. You can be absolutely cooperative with the guy, okay? And with some of them, okay? I'm not saying all of anybody, but the fear is, I don't know which one this is.
Right.
That's the fear. And you cannot assume that the guy coming is a good guy. Okay, why? Because every time you look at a damn TV, you see a dead guy. You can't assume. We can't assume. You can presume that the cop coming up to you won't shoot you. You can make that fair assumption. Most black folks can't. Male, female, young, old. You can't make, you can't bet on that. You really can't.
I can't. No, I think unfortunately, you're right. You have to be defensive in how you deal with the cops. Although I have learned one thing in my 77 years, is that as soon as you challenge somebody's power to do something, they will bend over backwards to prove to you that they can do it.
Okay, now follow me down the road.
You agree with that?
That's absolutely true. Follow me down the road. I've already been pulled over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a leg to stand on anymore. I'm just, okay, what do you want? What did I do? Really? Wait.
If your vehicle squeals or grinds when you slow down,
You're not stopping us because we're speeding, and all these cars know that we're speeding. Okay. But you're stopping me because my license plate is covered. Right. No. If you're stopping me because my license plate is covered, you didn't even look in the car.
But they do that with everybody.
You know, they don't. No, they don't come up in their car.
No, but once you stop, they looked in the car.
No.
Oh,
he came up. Right. This is when he looked in the car. He came up to my window to look in the car.
Okay.
Right. If he was stopping me for a traffic infraction, your lights are on back here.
Yep.
Okay. I pull over. Now you come up.
Right.
But to pass by, and literally you can see him, Doc, coming up, stop next to a car.
No, I believe you.
Coming up, stop next to, and he just inched his way on up until he, that's the one I'm going to get. Now, I know all these cars had white folks in them. Why?
Say again?
I said, I know all these cars had white folks in them. Why? Because I passed them all. Okay? And then I got in behind the guy that was leaving.
I don't disagree that was a wrong thing to do, and there's no doubt you're in a different position than I am.
Exactly. The average black person is in that position.
Right, and the average black person needs to let their kids know that they're in a different position than my kids.
The average black person does, children.
I hope so.
No. Doc, I got driver's education in high school. Okay, right, but I got
driver educated by my dad.
Exactly.
All right. I got driver education. I got driver educated by my dad. Okay. He told me things like, ride next to a truck. If the light looks like it's gonna change, ain't nobody gonna run in no truck. Okay. He told me,
just life lessons.
Okay. And put your hands on them wheels. Don't move. Don't say nothing. Yes, sir. No, sir.
I told my son the same thing.
Yes or no, so cooperate. Okay, cooperate. But pay attention to who it is because you already know what's going to happen to you. And most of the time we know. You know if you're going to get that ticket. You know if you're going to get told to get on the ground. You know these things. Why? Because that attitude walks up to you. Yes, it is. It walks up to you. You okay, Tom?
Oh yeah.
Or should let you move into your new home before you sell your old one.
But that attitude walks up to you.
I'm stretching. If I stretch, I'm golden.
Okay. That attitude walks up to you.
The preacher to the choir. I agree with you 110%. And I know it's real. I mean, I'm not denying that happens.
And there's very little you can do about it. I mean, they don't know. Even when they come up to you smiling.
Has anyone seen Social Security number?
You don't know what he's smiling about.
I talked to my friends, both black and gay. Now, the reason I say both of those is there's a reason. I say to my black friend, come on, bro, this country has advanced so much. We don't have that shit anymore. And he says, how the fuck do you know?
Exactly.
That's what, exactly. And he said, truly, how do you know? He says, I know that there are people that are cool, but there are a lot that aren't, and you would never see it. But those are the only ones I care about, because they're the ones that matter. And you're not going to walk through a snake pit and worry about bunnies. You're going to worry about the snakes. Okay, his name's Evans. We were lifelong friends. He's in California now. But then I talked to some gay friends of mine said the same thing. People don't give a shit if you're gay. And they say, oh, yes, they do.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe, and I mean that. By the way, I take seriously people I recommend. Harris Family Law. If you're going through a divorce, now I hope you never need Harris, but if you're going through a divorce, I don't think you can pick a better firm to represent you. They do collaborative law. This is important. Listen to what collaborative law is. They contact the other side and take the heat out, and they strike an agreement not to file anything and to talk everything out. And the other parties are more than happy to do it because all the costs are kept down, attorneys are friendlier, meaning that they get it done better and both clients are happy instead of both clients being unhappy. Harris Family Law, collaborative law. They also do unbundled services. You want them to handle one part of the divorce or all of it or whatever you want, they'll do with you. Harris Family Law. Call them. You need a consultation. They'll go through what's called an early neutral assessment to let you know what a divorce looks like without any bias. 303-515-5000. Rich Harris and his team and his wife Lisa, they're great people. 303-515-5000. Now, let's talk to you on the phone because I know you have a lot of questions. So let's go to Jeremy who has an issue with a plumber. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, Don, let me finish up with that liquid loan thing. I'm sorry. Don, so bottom line I was trying to tell you, and those listening, from the day you get the loan, you start paying simple interest. And if you only paid simple interest, listen to this, for 5 years, just simple interest, that's just a few $100 a month. And then at the end of 5 years, you put down $3,000 or $4,000, you would be ahead, miles ahead of a conventional loan and pay way less interest. People think because the interest rate is lower on a conventional loan that because it's a floating interest, you're paying more. First of all, there's a ceiling on what you'll pay on a liquid loan. But over a 10-year period, if you made a regular house payment that you normally, what is your house payment now, Don?
it's like 1,500. So Tom, I get that. That's the reason I'm looking at alternatives is because of this. You know, these conventional mortgages are interest only for 10 or 15 years, and I want out of that game, and that's why I'm looking at this. I get all that. I just didn't quite get how I'm making interest back. You know, I'm paying the higher interest rate.
It's not like you're making. Here's what it is. If you have $50,000 in the bank, or 100 or 30 or 20, it's not that you're making that interest. It's that they're subtracting that amount from your loan, so you're not paying that interest. It is effectively like making that interest. For example, I had somebody tell me one time, Tom, I have 10 grand. What should I invest in? And I said, what credit card do you have, debt? And they said, 20,000. And I said, what are you paying on that? They said, 18%. I said, you want to make 18% on that 10 grand? Pay off 10 grand of that debt. Because in effect, you're relieving yourself of that interest. That's what we mean by effectively earning that.
Okay, and that's where I kind of got hung up. But I definitely went out of the conventional mortgage stuff.
Okay, here's what I want to tell you, though. This is what's great. And I'm going to tell you, like 120 months is 10. If you made a $1,500 payment, a $1,500 payment in your exact scenario for 10 years, you made the same payment. Do you know how much principal you'd have paid off in 10 years?
Next to nothing.
No. In the liquid loan, do you know what you'd have paid off in 10 years? What do you think?
Well, so the tool tells me I'll pay the house off in 11.
That's right. You'll have $120,000 or more paid toward principal. But the reason I say more is because as you pay it, the interest goes down, so more of that $1,500 goes toward principal. There is no comparison whatsoever. No comparison.
Okay, thanks. I just needed that push because I didn't quite get it, but I'm going for it.
Don, I'm going to tell you something, man. I'm going to share something, a secret with you. I, through the years, have had my ups and downs. I have, okay? I thank God, rebuilt after the recession. I was heavily invested in real estate. And after that major recession, I rebuilt. I don't have a mortgage on a house. And I'm doing the liquid loan, not to pull cash out, but because it is such a valuable tool that if I ever needed cash in an emergency or anything, I want that loan in place. And it's worth it to me to take that loan and to pay the cost up front, which is a couple, 3, 4, whatever it is. And then I'm going to systematically pull money out and pay it back because it will improve my credit. Plus, I can always have my house loaned up if I wanted to be less of a target for, lawsuits and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, and I appreciate that, and I'm looking forward to learning how it works and using the tool. I just was a little bit skeptical, that it sounds almost too good to be true, and I didn't fully understand it, but that helps a lot.
Yeah, and I would never talk about it. Now, listen, in the past, there was a problem with it, but it wasn't a big problem because you didn't lose any money. But there was a problem in the past, Don. Let me explain what happened during the recession. If you had a liquid loan during the recession, this is what happened that caused a lot of trouble. People would borrow up their money, and then they would pay it back down, So they would put their paychecks into this account in order to keep their balance low, right? What happened what happened during the recession is home values plummeted, and Macquarie Mortgage at the time, it was called, they said, wait a minute, you can't get that money back out. They froze the lines of credit. Okay? Hold on. But just remember this. People did not lose that money. It was applied to their loan. But it didn't help them because they needed cash flow. And they thought, well, wait a minute. I would not have paid my loan down over the last 3 months if I knew I couldn't get the money back. So, in essence, people were up in arms. So here's what I did. I had a liquid loan at the time, too. The same thing happened. I got on the phone at the time with the lender doing it, and Macquarie Mortgage, I made so much of a stink. They released, here's what the agreement was. They released principal payments that were made in the previous 90 days. They released them all. Then, in the new loans, they don't do that. They can't do that anymore. It doesn't, and here's why they don't freeze it. Because the line of credit is gradually reduced over 30 years. Because they don't want you in the 29th year taking out 100% of the loan and having a year to pay it back. So, the way it's structured now is perfect. There was a risk in the past of having money frozen, but it would never, you'd never lose the money. It would simply pay down your loan. But that can't even happen anymore. So you're in good shape. You're in good shape. Jeremy, what is your issue with a plumber? What is your issue, man, with a plumber?
Yes, sir. So last November, our kitchen had a sewer backup. So our kitchen's been replaced by direct, and it's about 95% done. We just had to install a garbage disposal and then the faucet onto the sink. And then
now, this kitchen rebuild was a result of an insurance job?
Yes, sir.
What was the loss of what was the insurance loss?
So it was sewage backup, and then it got under the tiles.
Wow.
And then, so they kind of just took it all out, but a lot of our stuff was old, so they just kind of replaced it all for us.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. I'll come right back to you on it, and let's examine what the problem is right after this.
Avid golfer Cam Moran played with joint pain for as long as he could.
Couldn't play golf for any extended period of time without braces and pain and chewing Advil for the entire day.
Then he turned to steroids.
Cortisone would last a few months, but inevitably came right back. Got to the point where I would have to wear ice packs to bed.
When the word surgery came up, Cam started looking elsewhere, and he found QC Kinetics. Natural biologic therapies, regenerative treatments that can repair and restore damaged tissue.
Kurt Alarmist people will sit down and actually give him a spreadsheet showing him what his payments are and what principal and interest is and how it all works.
Multiple days in a row without pain, everything's great.
Call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation.
I would recommend QC to anybody.
Call QC Kinetics, 303-900-8986.
I got 3
900-8986. QC Kinetics, 303-900-8986.
All right, I want to talk about the
importance of having a public adjuster. You see, it means more to me that you know the industry than pick a specific one, although I have a great insurance adjusting team. Now, if you don't have a public adjuster, you're at the mercy of your insurance company. And unfortunately, facts will back me up, insurance companies are never fair to you in casualty losses. They aren't. So if you have a claim at your home, you need a public adjuster on your side. That's just the way it is. They take a small contingency, but almost always get you more than you can get on your own. And I'm going to tell you, they put their money where their mouth is because public insurance adjusters of Colorado will examine your claim free of charge. Free of charge. In fact, if you had a claim that was recently closed, they'll last 2 or 3 years, they'll even examine those to see you were treated fairly because they can reopen them. And if they say they'll take your case, your claim, they will always get you more than you can get on your own, and they'll make up for that small contingency fee in a heartbeat. 720-715-0000. Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado, 720-715-0000. The website is coclaims.com. Century RV. I love talking about Century RV because they're good people. They sell RVs, and they do a great job. They have great pricing, even in today's shortages. They do, and they have a bunch of new units. They also will give you top dollar for your trade. Go see them. Exit 240 and I-25. That's the turnoff to Longmont, but instead you'll take a right and go down Frontage Road. That's where they are. CenturyRV.com, 303-453-1111. Estate plans are a necessity. They're not a good idea. They're a necessity. Estate plans. So, do me a favor. Find out what you need. It might be just a will. You may need just a beneficiary's deed for a house or a payable on death certificate for a bank account or a combination of that plus a trust. Whatever it is, Blake Harris Law will answer your questions free of charge, go over your estate. Then, when you're ready to hire him, he'll charge flat rates quoted up front for whatever you need. 833-ASK-BLAKE. 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. One at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669. NMLS number 3304. Not all votes apply.
I should have had done that do it. Don't be that person that says this after ordering your remodeling project, right, Dad? You got that right, Tom. Hi, folks. Dan Cicchini, owner of Done Right Kitchens and Baths, windows and doors. Simply put, we make people happy. Ever since the 80s, we've proven ourselves by being picky. Tell the folks, huh? Well, there's only one way we'll resurface cabinets. 1/4 inch glued and nailed. Replacement kitchens, only custom-built cabinets by our own people for a fabulous look. Bathrooms, you can count on the tried and true Done Right bathroom renovation system. And windows and entry doors? Dad, how about your 2 cents here? Well, it starts with a quality window and door, yes, but I'm here to tell you the preparation, installation, and finish are exactly why they'll be able to join those that say, Done Right, did right by me. So, folks, whether it's kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, or even replacement rooms and doors, as always, you have our word for future right at Done Right. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or drhi.com.
Why am I'm trying to log in.
Here's what's trending
on the
iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
The Avalanche put 9 on the Kings last night for their 7th straight win. They go for number 8 against the Devils tonight. Kyle Freeland is on the hill for the Rockies as they start a 4-game home series with the Cubs. The Rockies have opened the season winning 4 of 5. Fresh off his Masters appearance, Tiger Woods announced his commitment to play in the 150th Open at Scotland's St. Andrews Course. I'm Seth Everett.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL. You can download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code SPORTS for a special offer when you sign up. That's code SPORTS only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
Tell your smart device to play 630 KHOW on iHeartRadio. Then you can hear news and talk that impacts your life.
Getting 630 KHOW from iHeartRadio.
Denver's talk station, available on over 2,000 devices.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Garage Magic for your garage floors that you won't forget. Beautiful garage floors. Polyaspartic finishes much harder than epoxy and not dangerously slippery. They put chips in it. Beautiful colors, an array of colors. They can also do staining. And they do pool decks and patios and garages, even hangars and warehouses. You will love the way they do business. All employees, no subs. GarageMagic.com. GarageMagic.com. And the number, 720-600-HOME. 720-600-HOME. Jeremy had an insurance job being done on his kitchen, and they were redoing the whole thing. And then you got to the garbage disposal. Is that where the problem happened?
So it's part of the garbage disposal / faucet. So the plumber was out yesterday. He incorrectly installed the garbage disposal at a tent. So
at a what? Garbage disposal was incorrect how?
So you know the 3.5-inch hole at the bottom of the sink? It wasn't firmly pressed against it, and it was kind of canted, like crooked.
Okay.
And so there was no seal.
And what
So
happened?
water-
And what happened?
Well, another thing as well is when he hooked up the faucet head, he tested the button, and he said that there's low pressure. So he took apart the faucet head to try to figure out what's going on. He said he would need an O-ring, and he would go to his shop to get it, come back this morning. This morning he came back. The garbage disposal is fixed as far as I know. I haven't checked it myself. My wife checked it. But the faucet head is still broken, and he just left the parts there, and he said he's not going to deal with it anymore.
Wait a minute.
So
he just walked. Hold on. Who's paying him? Is the general contractor paying him or you?
The general contractor.
Well, what is it? Well, it's on the general then. Tell the general the guy's an idiot.
That's what I thought as well. But the general contractor texted saying that, well, how do we know that we broke it when the guy disassembled it yesterday?
Wait a minute.
And so it's like,
wait a minute. He said the general is saying we didn't do it.
Yeah, they're basically saying that it's not their problem that the faucet is broke, because they were just supposed to install things, but their plumber, their subcontractors, disassembled it. And so wouldn't that liability be on them?
Well, yeah,
the general contractor.
Well, listen, it's on the plumber and it's on the general who hired the plumber. It's on both. I don't know how they get out of it. Okay. I mean, it was never installed properly to begin with. So what does this guy mean when he says we don't know if we did it? Who else did it?
Okay, perfect. So my second question is, if they continue to deny or try to give us a hard time, how do we go about
All right, here's how you do it. Here's how you do it. Well, we can get involved, but you should try it first. What you do is you find out how much it'll cost to fix, and you sue them in small claims court. That's the easiest way. Okay. How can they possibly say they're not responsible? It was never – wait, I say it was never installed right to begin with, but let's back up. Did you ever use it in between the first plumber installed it? Did you use it?
No. So what? There was no first plumber. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yesterday, he installed it. He said it was good to go. We looked when he left. We looked, and it was canted wrong, or it was at an angle.
Right.
So I was like, that looks a little.
Well, hold on. When you ran water through it, did it leak?
Yes.
Well, then what? Okay. So you mean to tell me this general contractor actually said that to you? Actually said to you, how do we know it's us?
His direct text says, I hear the faucet sprayer isn't working. We are required to reuse the existing sink and faucet by the insurance company, so I don't have to replace your faucet or sprayer in the estimate. Was it working or not before? And then my wife was like, yeah, it was working. It's a brand new faucet, to go with our brand new sink that we bought.
So so your wife answered it wrong.
Oh, how should she have answered it?
Well, I mean, she said it was working.
Prior to him touching it.
Oh, okay. Is this a new disposal?
Yes, it is. It's a brand new one.
They should not. They're giving you such a hard time. This sucks, man. If you have any trouble, listen, I don't mind having one of our guys call this general and saying, how the hell can you blame a consumer when they put it in that day and it didn't work? What do you mean, how do we know you did it?
And I appreciate you wanting to step up the bat for us, but at the same time, I don't want to create a larger problem. But if you're saying that we're in the right and it's on them to fix it.
Listen, how can you – here's what I want to know. How can you not be in the right? Tell me what you're concerned about. I mean, it was never working to begin with.
So my only thing was when I looked up online, like who would be responsible for this, it said that insurance companies aren't necessarily responsible if your subcontractor is not competent enough to do the job.
Well, that's true. Your insurance doesn't have to pay a second time if that's what you're thinking. No, they don't.
Okay, but the contractor would, right?
Right.
If they
Well,
hired
let me
a
ask you something.
okay.
This is something that's really important. Did they do damage?
Not well. They so they're trying to. It's kind of the garbage disposal is kind of turned, so the P trap kind of does like a weird.
I just need to know if there's any additional damage.
From my understanding, I haven't seen it as of yet, but apparently they had to cut a little hole in the wall to get the pipes to line up.
All right. So right now, get an estimate on what that's going to cost.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Do that. Okay. And then we will definitely help you through the process. You can always call us back, 303-713-8255.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon, 6:30 KHOW, Denver. Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by AAA Colorado Insurance. Slow traffic on I-25 southbound through downtown. There is a left lane crash southbound at Santa Fe. Keep traffic slow now starting around 38th Avenue, Park Avenue West, and may have a situation right around that area as well with a crash as you work your way northbound on I-25. So slow traffic either direction now through downtown. The rest of I-25 looking pretty good. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, partly cloudy skies, 58 for today with some gusty winds. Tonight slow drops to 21, and then for Friday and through the weekend.
How does it know my vehicle? I just signed up to BMW, and they pre-filled in my vehicle. I mean, they must have done that at the dealer then.
Yeah.
Don't settle for
Oh, okay.
relationships. Break up with your insurance provider and get AAA insurance. With coverage that lets you back. For 100 years, AAA has been providing auto insurance.
Hey, bro.
Hey, did you get a chance to do it?
No, we're going to though. Oh yeah.
I'll come back later.
O'Brien Legal Services. O'Brien
Legal Services or OLSlaw.com. Brad O'Brien is a real estate attorney. We've had him on the show today. We have him on the show a lot as our real estate expert. And here's what you need to know. You need to know that real estate attorneys should be used in real estate transactions. They're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you just pay a few hundred for a real estate attorney, especially if you're going to have issues with easements or border disputes, eminent domain, adverse possession, whatever it is, if it has to do with real estate. Brad O'Brien, OLSlaw.com, 720-370-7388. Hey, folks, if you have hard...
Oh yeah, the entire car. I have 9 miles on it. Sons of bitches.
That's perfect.
This is a hot looking car. Holy shit.
You looking at it? Let me see what you got. I might have, knock all the bugs out of it for you.
I think we should take it for a test drive, don't you think, Khalid?
Yeah, we'll go to California, man.
Pretty cool.
It's pretty. You getting it in white?
Yeah, that's the car.
That's your car? Ooh. Oh, that's that car.
Yeah.
And that's your car.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at you.
It's nice. It's nice. It's nice. Driving is professional driving assistance. Huh?
Do you get about 4 miles to a gallon on it, Tom?
Let's see. No, they say it's 18 around town, 16 to 18 around town. It's got driving assistance professional.
Level 3, level 2. Level 3 available with an upgrade. Third, trailer hitch. Thank God. I was wondering about that for my bikes. God almighty, it's got a lot of shit in it. Window shades. More stuff to break.
Improve overall health and wellness. Medicine or personal hygiene. Actually,
automatic doors.
But considering that bathing went mainstream
they self-close.
In the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s.
What model is that? That's
X7.
X7.
M50i.
X7 M50i.
Yeah. Allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to
so it's got 4850. 48 months, 50,000. Okay.
The other nostril flushing out.
Emissions is 96 months, 80,000. I think they all have to do that.
Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Equity is at all-time highs. Interest rates are still historically low. That's the ideal combination to apply. IdealHomeLoans.com. First we listen, then we lend. Including the interest rate guarantee. If rates go down, they'll refinance you free of charge. Pick your own term loan. Also, rock solid pre-approval, which puts you at.
I have roadside included.
Well, I'm sure you do.
They have a nice interface here. Now, pretty cool. Oh, I can track it? No. They can't because that's not on. It's never been activated.
Okay.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Oh, Brian did have a comment, but he's not there right now. All right, so, Kelly, I want to get this person on the line here. Do you have that number, that Eileen's number? You want to... I'm going to put it up here on call notes.
While you're doing that,
her name is Irene, and it's a very odd problem with Amazon. You're not going to believe. What's going on, Deputy Doc? You got to follow.
We got a call about Home Pride.
Oh yeah, and let's explain what Home Pride is. First of all, the woman might be off base a bit. Do you get that, Kelly? There you go. Okay, good.
I got it.
All right. Now, the woman who called about Home Pride said that she wanted to have her old home, she wanted to redo her bathroom, basically.
Correct.
She contracted Home Pride for $13,000, then changed her mind.
Correct.
She said now they're trying to collect, was from fall of 2021, they're trying to collect $7,600, and we wanted to know why, because by contract there's a 10% penalty.
Right. She acknowledged the fact that she canceled it one day after the cancellation period ended, and she was willing to pay the 10% penalty that was outlined in the contract. I called them up. They said, we don't talk to people other than the customer, and hung up on me.
All right. So did you have Brigitta?
I told Brigitta to call them and see if she...
That's the first step before we go to war with them. But Home Pride kind of sucks, I can tell by their attitude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She said she's tried them several times.
All we need is an explanation.
And they won't call her back.
We need an explanation as to why it's 7,600 and not the 10%, which would be
1,300, right?
I mean, that's a lot more money. But Home Pride, they're not very stellar, by the way, when it comes to reviews and all of that. So they kind of, in my opinion, you know, they're not that great.
And she called us because she's tried several times to get in touch with them or talk to the manager, and they will not call her back.
So they're not calling her back.
Correct.
People, beware of Home Pride bath and shower systems. Beware, okay? Unfortunately, they suck, basically. I mean, in order to charge more than your cancellation fee, that's wrong. Home Pride, let's give out their phone number so you can tell them what you think of them. This woman clearly is willing to pay the penalty. They claim she owes $7,600. She canceled within a day. Or, no, excuse me, a day after the 3-day, right?
Right, and she accepts the fact that she owes 10%.
Hold on, your mic's not on.
She acknowledges the fact that she owes the $1,300. She's not arguing about that.
Now, if you want to look, it's homepridebath.com.
And the number is 303.
Oh, okay, I have another one, but go ahead with that one.
What she gave me, what I called 303-558-5225.
Okay, so that's let me just put that down here so we can remind people how they suck.
303-558-5225.
5225. You know how. Let me explain how we do business here. We believe that public feedback, not vulgarity, but feedback, is truly important to a business. We really do. We believe that when they hear what the public thinks, so this is a contract that says they're going to charge 10% cancellation, and instead they charged her half. They want to charge her half of the contract. And that's Home Pride Bath and Shower Systems. They say they refuse to talk to us, even though we're trying to help and mediate, but instead they will talk directly to the consumer, yet they refuse to talk to the consumer. Think about it. Their number, 303-558-5225. Please let them know what you think about them and ask them why they're charging more than their cancellation fee.
Or ask them just to call the consumer and talk to her.
Yeah, and the consumer's name is Brigitta. Or how do you pronounce it? Brigitta. Okay, Brigitta. It's B-R-I-G-I, Brigitta, and whatever, Brigitta. Now, we have another story that I find outrageous here. I want to start. I just don't get it. I'm going to try to break it down easy, in an easy form. It's Irene. Irene?
Yes, hi.
Hi. Can you explain this account that you have? It's not Amazon, is it? Or is it? I think it's
no,
Kin.
It is.
Oh, it's
most definitely.
Okay.
Yes, this is Amazon. What happened is,
okay.
I'm an author.
You're an author.
What?
Go ahead.
Yes. Okay, I'm an author. Many years ago, when I put out my first book, I put out the book on Amazon, and there's such a thing as KDP. Now, that's Kindle something deposit. I can't remember, but that's your royalty.
But it's owned by Amazon, so for all practical purposes, it's basically Amazon. You put out a book on Amazon how many years ago?
Oh, it has to be something like 13, 14 years ago.
And then, that was, by the way, that was your first book?
Yes.
And what was the name of the book?
It's under the name of Lawrence Holman. The book is How to Have an Affair and Not Get Caught.
Wait a minute. You wrote a book called, oh my God, was it a good seller?
Actually, yes.
Now, what possessed you to write that? I'm just curious.
Well, actually, it started out as a joke. Because I'm an author, I was in a writing group, and I wanted to see if I could write an article. And an article is, it's so specific, it's this and that. And to make it as a joke, I thought, I'll write How to Have an Affair and Not Get Caught. And suddenly all these ideas and pictures came in my mind, and I turned to my husband and I said, you know what? I have a book, And it took a lot of research and a lot of good people who trusted me to tell me their stories, why and how, mostly the how to have an affair and not get caught. And and I made it into a book, and people love it.
What an incredible, okay, so was it only sold on Amazon?
Yes, only there.
Okay, and that book, was it for sale up until this recent conflict?
Oh, yes, it should be on sale now, except it's not.
I get it. Hold on, Irene, I'm going to let you tell your story, but I need to unfold it. So this particular book, did it make you some money?
Yes. Well, not a lot. In the beginning, not, because I didn't know how to market myself. So that was being sold way before, quite honestly, I forgot about it. And
but it was under a different name than your real name, right?
Yes, under my author name, yeah.
Under your pen name?
Yes.
And what was your pen name for that?
Lauren Tolman, Tallman, Lauren Tolman.
Okay, I get it, Lauren Tolman. And, okay, then speed forward and let's get to the problem.
Okay, so now, for the last few years, I've put out 3 additional books.
Okay, now these 3 additional books you put out, did you put them on Amazon?
Yes, same way, under same name, everything. Everything was under one name.
Which was Lauren Tolman.
Yes.
You did 3, and what were the 3 new books?
One of them was Harem of the Dragon, a rather good book. It's an historical novel, but it's very sensual as well. The other 2, I founded the Erotic Writers Group of Las Vegas.
The Erotic Writers Group. I love it. Okay.
Of Las Vegas, and we've been going on for 8 years, and they're phenomenal.
So now,
writers.
what happened? So you put out a book 14 years ago called "How to Have an Affair and Not Get Caught" under your pen name, and then you recently did 3 other books. So where did the trouble start? What happened then?
Okay, it took me a few days to realize, because I suddenly, out of the blue, nothing beforehand, saying you've just been erased. Basically, you've just been erased. I ran home, opened up the computer, I go into Amazon. I'm not there. It's as if I'd never written. It's as if I'd never sold anything.
So suddenly you're missing from Amazon.
Totally erased.
Why?
Totally. Okay, they didn't explain it. They said you have 2 accounts. What happened, what they really mean is, the first time I tried, I wanted to sell I was selling How to Have an Affair and Not Get Caught. But I was doing it again now under Lauren Tolman. So now when I understood the situation, I wrote back to them.
I don't understand, Irene. I thought you only had 1 account, under the same pen name for all your books.
That's what I can't even get in to find out what the old one was, because it was so long ago, I'd forgotten about it.
Oh, I get it. So that account that you were selling books under for How to Have an Affair, the 14-year-old book, you forgot what account that was, so you started a new one?
Yeah, because I had now 4 books under my belt, and I wanted to put them out, and now I knew how to
So when you had these 3 new books, what's the normal procedure for selling a book on Amazon? Let's say you had no books. What's the normal procedure when you write one?
Okay, first of all, you get someone who knows what they're doing, and you take the Word content with your cover, the whole thing on Word. What it is, it's then translated onto the Amazon site, where you make it into a book. You put, you space it, you tweak it, then you push the crystal clear button, which isn't so clear because it's very difficult under Amazon.
Let me get this straight then, Irene. You basically sign up to sell the book on Amazon, then they have to approve it?
Yes. Oh, no, they don't have to approve it. They'll sell it. They make money from it.
Okay. Okay, but hold on. So they'll sell this book on Amazon, but then when you went and did the other 3, did you have a login for that first account that you made this book? Did you have a username and password?
I probably did, but I didn't even remember it.
Yeah, but usually when you try to open a second account, it says stuff like this email associated with...
Exactly. Well, you want to tell me their computer didn't suddenly...
All right, hold on. I get it. Hold on.
So with her new account, She put in her new books plus her old book.
I don't think she put it in her old book. I think she just left that in the old account.
I think you need to ask her, did she try to include that old book? Because if that she did,
then it was like she was stealing.
That might have caused the trigger. What?
Oh, Stephanie, my wife. Turn off that mic for a second.
And then for Friday and through the weekend, dry with high temperatures reaching the mid-60s. Currently it's 54. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW. If your company needs to spring into efficient hiring, then check out Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's really important that you have people on your side when it comes to retirement planning. I'm not talking about just the people that do the work, like investing or insurance or, reverse loans or whatever you have. Even Blake Harris with the estate planning. I have, in addition to that, I'm hiring Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies to help me. What do they do? They coordinate your entire retirement plan, tell you where you have strength and weaknesses. And they charge, it's a very low fee compared to what you think, okay? And they'll go over how they charge. Some things are paid on commissions if you buy a product. Other things are flat rates. And they'll go over all of that. In fact, they don't charge you anything until you agree to it up front for each thing they do. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies will meet with you as many times as it takes for you to feel comfortable. The younger you get with them, the better. I got with them late, but they're helping me, and they'll help you. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, the website, rpcenter.com, 970-663-3211. They'll meet with you, but they'll come to you, okay, as many times as it takes. Or you go to them, or they'll go on Zoom, 970-663-3211. And while we're on the topic of retirement, let's talk about reverse loans. As you know, we have approved reverse lenders, and silverleafmortgage.com is one of them. You will be taken care of with Silverleaf. They're caring, loving people who help seniors find the best loans for their situation, whether it be a lump sum, a monthly payment, or a line of credit. They even have a nonprofit foundation that helps you get your house fixed up if you have deferred maintenance to get a better appraisal. 720-REVERSE. 720-REVERSE.
This is a critical message for folks affected.
Well, how do you fight nameless, how do you fight nameless, faceless people like Amazon and this letter called the rejection crew, or basically? How do you do it? How do you do it?
I don't know. And that's why I don't do a lot of that stuff. I think I've bought maybe 6 things on Amazon. I spend money there, but I'm like, nah. Because I'm not going to like something. I'm going to want to take it back. I'm going to want to do all of this stuff. And our hair sniffer in chief is awesome.
What's that?
Okay, our hair sniffer in chief, Biden, is awesome. I think they're all getting richer by the second. And like Tom said this morning, the middle class, the center of the cake, is gone. Joneses. Yeah, if it was only true where those kids live.
This car was built 1 month ago.
A Hellcat. I presume that there's going to be a few deaths behind that. You know, it's legal to ride your bike or your scooter through stop signs now. I heard that this morning, man. I thought it was crazy.
Hey, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. Don't forget about waterpros.net, the best water systems at the lowest prices ever. If you can get a whole house conditioning system, think about this. Better plumbing, better use of soap, better laundry, better on your skin, better on your plumbing, all over appliances, for under $2,000 fully installed by master plumbers, supervision, and it's waterpros.net, including a drinking fountain if you want one, under $1,000 fully installed. Waterpros.net. Waterpros.net. Look, hey, so Eileen has this crazy thing with Amazon. Basically, she had a book 14 years ago. She forgot about that account. I mean, it just, she was selling books, but it's like an automatic thing, right? So she came out with 2 more or 3 more books. She went to Amazon and put them on Amazon. She signed up for an account. Now she had 2 accounts, and they said it violated policy, and they treated her like a crook, saying, "Well, now you can never open another account. We're closing these accounts, and you can't collect any more royalties, sell any more books. We're done with you. We're erasing you. You're canceled." Hold on. Judy has a comment. Go ahead, Judy. What is your comment?
Hi, Tom. I had a problem with Amazon, and I searched up and down their website trying to figure out a way to actually talk to a human. And I did find a number, and I did talk to, they have a customer service number, and I just wanted to give you the number because they were really helpful, and it solved my problem.
Now, hold on one sec. That's great, but do you think they would handle Kindle things like this?
Well, as far as I know, they handle everything that goes with Amazon.
Here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to, Kelly, to talk to you off the air and get that number for Irene.
I got it.
All right, so hold on. Now, Irene, we're going to come back to you and talk about this. Plus, Bridget has a follow-up with Home Pride. This is pretty cool, so hang in there because we talked about it on the air.
Doc, once again, I got 2 great follow-ups. Brianna, and tomorrow we have a great follow-up for you. She's going to come on the air. She was another one. She was in tears when I spoke to her. Just
what is it? What one is it?
About sliding laws of community properties. She's been working with them for months.
What laws?
yes to a couple of limited questions from the judge. The prosecutor said that James interrupted the morning commute in a way that has not been seen in this city in more than 14 years. Evident reference to the September 11th attack. Aaron Taylor, ABC News at Brooklyn Federal Court.
President Biden is on the ground in North Carolina where he'll visit an engineering and innovation complex and deliver remarks on ways to help ease supply chain issues that are slowing production and driving up prices. Twitter is facing a buyout bid by Elon Musk. The billionaire is already a major shareholder of the social media company. First-time jobless claims picked up by 18,000 last week, but still remain at historic lows. This is ABC News. Israeli Defense Forces conducting more raids in the West Bank after more than a dozen Israelis were killed in recent attacks. Now, at least 5 Palestinians are dead.
It appears one Palestinian victim may have been an innocent bystander. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas warning Israel is making the security situation more dangerous. He imposed a general strike today in Ramallah and Bethlehem in protest of the military operation. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
Out of control wildfires in New Mexico have been deadly.
Crews coming in from around the region have managed to contain the parts of the wildfire that threatened homes in Ruidoso. But by mid-afternoon,
the fire took jumps so that it was being held on.
Laura Reagan is with Lincoln National Forest.
We are issuing an emergency evacuation. If you are in that area, please leave immediately. Get in your cars and go.
For one elderly couple, the woman and 2 ladies were found in the burned-out rubble of their home. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Melissa Sardi, ABC News.
Here's the deal. I had conversations with everything that's different and willing for you. I've read a lot of life.
I will give Margaret a call this afternoon.
All right, you heard that, folks?
It's amazing. I put the number of commercials I do into this fucking thing.
Board majority for C as Wise's opposition to its policy preferences.
Okay, I said hi, Doc.
Opposition to discrimination. Wise was fired by the board majority in February. A bill to strengthen penalties on fentanyl dealers and make it a felony to possess 1 gram or more of the drug.
Chris Abbott, whose mom do you identify as?
I think where the bill falls short.
Oh, I gotta put this in my context. So it's Urology Center of Colorado. I'm glad that you got a good. Are these old guys? I want old guys.
Yep.
Harm reduction included in the bill, such as naloxone and fentanyl test strips. The measure now goes to the House Appropriations Committee for consideration. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer. Now, impact traffic.
I know when I had my prostate surgery, I had to go to an old guy because none of the new guys knew how to do it without the Da Vinci machine.
And 50 seconds. Now the northbound side is still open but partially blocked, so you want to take your favorite alternate there. Again, southbound.
And when they do that,
what are you talking about?
Do they go from the front to back, or do they turn you upside down?
Mine go up from the front.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
My prostate surgery.
Oh, what did you have to? Oh,
I had a prostatectomy.
Oh shit. Okay, so you don't. That's why you should. So you don't have to worry about any of that shit right now. Do you?
No, I do. I take medication for overactive bladder. Because without the prostate, there's no control of your bladder.
Really?
So you got to stop the spasms.
So listen, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Ideal home loans. For your next ideal home loan, you heard
I have a number of problems I think they're used to seeing, like failure to evacuate fully, and
frequency, urge.
Yeah, have you had a biopsy done? Or they're just following your PSA?
Why, isn't PSA an indication?
Yeah, I mean,
I've had low forever.
Oh, okay. So
1.2.
Oh, that's great.
2, never over 2.
Okay, good.
I mean, I hope to God, and in my family, you know, nobody had anything. So but yeah, Terry, Dr. Grossman looks at all that.
Yeah, nobody in my family had it either. But my PSA went up and they did a biopsy and then I said, take it out. I had the surgery and then radiation. I didn't want radiation and then surgery because I've had.
They do the seed first sometimes.
The seed wasn't appropriate for my particular case. Radiation was.
Shit, man, you fucking battle cancer, don't you?
But I've operated on women who've had radiation and then surgery.
Yeah.
It's a mess. Everything is matted down, and it's like you put crazy glue. Normally, when you operate on somebody, if they haven't had previous surgery, it's very easy to separate organs and blood vessels, which is what we do.
Is this second name Stephen Ryle?
Right, Ryle. Rule. R-U-Y-L-E. So I said, I'm having the surgery first, then the radiation. Because surgery after radiation is really difficult.
Okay.
Cranberry.
One-day treatment, life-changing results. Before and after pictures.
So Tom, I've never been treated too bad, injured or damaged by police. But I have been face down on the ground, cuffed. I've had guns in my face and unjustly arrested, and I've been given tickets for infractions that I did not commit. And Hellcat said, dead is dead.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, Tom Martino here, and we welcome you to the only show of its kind anywhere where we are fighting for you each and every day. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. If you're looking for relief from pain and inflammation, even relief from anxiety, it's a great travel product, really. RealCBDThatWorks.com. It's Panacea Life Sciences. CBD comes in oils, chewables, gel caps, and even cosmetics with anti-inflammatory properties make great facial cosmetics. Put Tom in the promo code, get 30% off. And if you go to RealCBDThatWorks.com, you'll also find buy one, get one free specials on certain things, like their immune system, their immune booster. All right. I'm going to go back to that Amazon thing in a second, but I want to bring up Brigitte. And we
have
had
an update on that, Tom.
What's that? I know. And Deputy Doc Brigitte's on. You called on that, Doc?
Yeah. Yeah. So Kelly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Kelly.
So we actually heard from Home Pride Bath, and
Good.
the Vice President of Operations called in after you gave their phone number out because they received some calls from some customers.
And by the way, I don't do that to be a jerk. Here's why I do that. You know, businesses live or die by reviews. They want to know what people think of them. It's no small thing. And I say we are a live review. And this is not a big deal. Brigitte bought, signed up for a redo in her bathroom from Home Pride, $13,000. Then she changed her mind a day after the recension period. So, okay. And she was perfectly willing to pay the penalty, but for some reason she gets a bill for $7,600, which is like more than 50%.
Instead of $1,300.
Instead of $1,300. She's willing to pay the penalty because she canceled, and she didn't do it within the 3 days allowed by federal law for home sales. So, for in-home sales. So what happened, Kelly?
So the Vice President of Operations, I gave him every opportunity to come on to defend and give his side of the story. He had no desire to do that.
That's fine.
But he did want us to know that he had called Brigitte, and Brigitte could probably take it from there and let us know exactly
Okay,
what
Brigitte,
happened.
what happened?
Well, I got this call from the vice president, and he said, I understand you had called earlier, and I said yes, and we were hung up upon, and because we wanted to question this bill. And he said, well, you should have never received that bill, and the person who sent you that bill no longer works here. We have fired her.
Oh, well, that's great
going back
news.
3 months ago.
That's
Yes.
great. That's great
And,
news.
Yeah. And he said, I'm going to send you an email to that effect. And I said, well, I tell you what, if I get that email, and when I get it, I will call Tom Martino Show back and let them know that this problem has been resolved.
Well, we thank you very much, Brigitte. We thank you. And listen, you know
I
what?
want to thank you, Tom. I want to thank you because without you, I would still be owing $7,600. And just getting you involved, even though they didn't talk to us, you certainly instilled fear into them. And I appreciate that.
Well, I think that
very, very much.
I want to give this guy the benefit of the doubt and saying he didn't probably know about it until we brought it to their attention. And I think Deputy Doc probably got stonewalled on the phone call.
But that's what we do. We bring it to people's attention.
Exactly. Thank you. And I thank Home Pride if they come through on this. And she's willing to pay that other penalty. But hell, that's great.
No dinger, huh?
No. Well, yes, of course. Deputy Doc does deserve the dinger here. My dinger's been a little overused lately, and you don't know about the dinger. The sound on this machine. I'm sorry. No, he's going to turn on the sound on this computer. He knows how to do. I'm sorry. I thought Shannon was still there. Now, ready? All right, here we go. There we go. So every now and then I use my dinger on the air. I know it could be against the rules, but I do it. And it's fine. So I'm really happy, by the way.
It's fun to add that to our total.
Exactly. Right. And let's keep going now. This has me puzzled, this other one. And this really is a problem. And Irene, we want you to try that customer service number we got. But also, Irene, I want to ask you a couple of questions. They say here, we reviewed the information you provided and have evaluated the relationship between previously terminated accounts and your current account. So I want to ask you something. That previous account from 14 years ago, was it terminated?
Not that I know of, no.
And here's the deal. Were you still getting royalties?
No.
Well,
not from that site, not from that.
How long ago did the royalties stop? Did the sales pretty much stop on that?
It's hardly started from the beginning because I didn't know how to market myself. It was only later when I had more books and just got to.
But here's what I'm asking, Irene. Here's what I'm asking. That book, the original book, how it was up on Amazon for 14 years.
Didn't get a penny from there.
Okay, you didn't get a penny from there. Now,
no.
When you wrote the additional books and put them on Amazon, what I'd like to know is, did you put just the 3 new books on there, or did you re-enter the previous book?
I re-entered the previous because it had been revised. It was about 2 years ago we revised it, so all 4 books came under.
Okay, got it. So you put them on there. Recently you did 3 new books under the same pen name on a new account, on a new Amazon account. And you included, this is what's important because I know what's happening on the new Amazon account. And here's the thing. They think you're stealing the old book.
Yes, I understand that. But why didn't they say so? Why didn't they give me a heads up before they erased me? I wrote back 3 different times.
They probably have a lot of problems with people selling other people's books. Now, here's what I need to know. Under the previous account, do you remember, was that account opened in your pen name or in your real name?
You know what? It was so long ago, I don't remember.
I'll bet you. Okay, let's put it this way. Was the new account opened in your real name or your pen name?
My pen name.
Okay. So I think what's happening is it looks like you're plagiarizing or selling somebody else's work, and they just erased you. But what I don't understand is why they say they looked at your information and they've come up and they say our evaluation process takes multiple criteria into consideration when establishing relations between accounts, and we take action based on that. Upon further review, we are upholding our previous decision to terminate your account and remove all of your books. Now, I wonder why. What did you send them?
I answered these emails by saying, I understand what I understood. I said, I understand. What can we do to correct the situation? I told them, this is my livelihood. And each time I got the computerized reply. They didn't even give me a heads up or allow me to say, okay, let's fix it. Nothing.
There's an Abigail here. There's an Abigail. Did you try calling to talk to someone?
No, because I was afraid I was going to tell them where exactly to stuff my books. So I was afraid to speak to them for the first, the last week.
I'm going to tell you how to complain to them because I think, Irene, you have to do it a certain way. And I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but yeah, I am telling you.
I'll do it.
I am. Here's what I want to tell you. It's going to be this simple. I wrote a book 14 years ago and put it on Amazon. And that account has been dormant for a long time. Irene, get her back on. She hung up somehow, so get her back on. Okay, Eric's got a question on homeowners. Go ahead, Eric. You have a question on homeowners insurance. How can we help you?
Yeah, I've got, my home's right on the edge, so there's like 50 homes that are burnt to the ground. And I'm wondering if
by the way, was yours, Eric, was yours burnt to the ground?
No, I have soot, smoke.
Okay, got it.
A little bit of heat, ash,
got
damage.
it. Mm-hmm.
And I put in a supplement to my insurance for $100,000. Would you go ahead and start working on the restoration before you receive the money from the insurance?
Yes. Hold on. I'll come right back to you. Hold on.
He needs to get a public adjuster before he does anything. Absolutely.
Can you get Joel on from Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado, please? I'm texting him. Joe Lazare is a criminal defense
attorney I hope you never need, but he's there. If you're stupid enough to drink and drive, or maybe miscalculated, or you made a mistake, or falsely accused, whatever it is, don't ever try to do this system alone when it comes to a DUI. It's very complicated and can have devastating effects. And don't shop for an attorney under pressure. I've shopped for you. I've known Joe for 30 years or more. 303-429-6200. Free initial consultations and flat rate pricing. 303-429-6200. Joe Lazara. I can think of no one better than Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, when it comes to selling your house. And I'm telling you, this is based on experience, personal experience. He set a record for something he sold for me. But on the other hand, he can also help you buy. He has teams dedicated to both. Team Duran, they're powerful at RE/MAX Alliance and can work for you, whether buying or selling. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. And if you're fortunate enough to get involved with Frank Duran, and then you need mortgages, a mortgage, a loan, Ideal Home Loans can be your next ideal home loan. Whether you're looking for a 30 or a 15 or anything in between, you can pick your own term. and you get the interest rate guarantee, which means if rates go down even further, they will refinance you free of charge. So right now, around 5%, you might be thinking, should I or shouldn't I? No matter what, it can't hurt you. If you'll save some money, do it, because if rates go down, they'll do it free of charge. It's a 2-year guarantee, and every time you close, you get a new 2-year guarantee. So you don't have anything to lose if you can truly take advantage of lower rates, especially if you're paying off high-interest debt. It doesn't have to be rock bottom for you to benefit. Ideal Home Loans also has credit optimization to help you get even better pricing by tweaking your credit even after you're approved. What they do is they will go in and help you maybe correct an address or pay down a balance on a card by a few bucks to get you better tiering, a better credit tier. Ideal Home Loans, 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com.
What's up, Nuggets fans? It's Jamal Murray here to tell you about Orchard. If you're looking to buy a home but want to skip all the stress, it's time for a mid-game adjustment. Orchard lets you move into your new home before you even sell your old one. Orchard turns you into a cash buyer so you can win in a competitive market. And it doesn't cost you any more money than traditional real estate. Orchard is the same game, but new rules. So get out there and win the home you want.
Orchard, the newest home, is a proud partner of the Denver Nuggets. Get started at Orchard.com.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both.
They probably just made this louder so I can hear it.
In the 1800s.
Hey, I mean, you know, can you hear it?
Isn't it time for
Yeah,
something
barely.
new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs.
Is 303 Martino forward? It's because I asked Joel to call that from insurance adjusters.
How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply.
I hate this fucking
and then out
commercial.
the other nostril.
Yeah, I've been saying that for 2 weeks
Like
now.
So you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath.
Just sounds condescending to me.
Clean nose, healthy life.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of pay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job at ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right. Joining at ZipRecruiter.com/try. ZipRecruiter.com/try. ZipRecruiter.com/try.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Plenty of sunshine and temperature, a little bit warmer today into the low 60s, upper 50s. But the wind is still sticking around right around 30 to 35 miles per hour. Fox 31 2.1 meteorologist Kylie Burke.
Did you see that movie?
What? Oh,
Bohemian Rhapsody? The movie, yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Did you see the movie with
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Rami?
Yeah.
Malek with
Rami Malek doing
Boy, did he do a great job, didn't he?
Freddie Mercury.
Yep.
Yeah. Saw that coming along.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right, now, we are waiting on a few people. Oh, there he is, Joel. Is he coming on? Great. Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. I wanted to get Joel on to talk about this. And is he there? Good. Joel, thank you for being here, man. Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. They're the ones that you call to get treatment, fair treatment from your insurance company. And by the way, I'm telling you something here, man, Eric. You should hire a public adjuster if you have any kind of damage whatsoever. But, Eric, you asked a good question. You say you're right next to the fire area where houses were completely destroyed right near you, right, Eric?
Yes.
And you're wondering, should you call remediation companies to start cleaning it up before you actually set?
I've already got one. They want to start work ASAP.
Okay. And you wonder, should you have them do that before?
How do I?
Did an insurance adjuster come and look at your house yet?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a supplement that's turned in.
Okay. So the insurance adjuster has been to your house already.
Yes.
How much did they allow for this claim?
$30,000.
Okay. And how do you know that's adequate?
It's not, because the restoration people came in and looked and said it's not.
Okay. The restoration people are pretty good to have if they say it's not. But how do you know they're being straight with you?
I don't.
Okay. What's the name? But let me tell you why I'm saying this, Eric. I'm trying to save you some trouble. Because if, in fact, let's just say if you get a bad restoration company and they manage to get your insurance to pay more, once your insurance pays, if that restoration company is not good, you're done. They're not going to come back and redo it. Your insurance company will only pay once. So you have a number of issues here. One, is it a good restoration company? Two, do they know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to cost? And three, how do you know you're going to get what you're asking for from your insurance? There's a number of issues here. So what I'd like to know is, first and foremost, what is the approximate size of your house?
1,400 square feet.
Okay, now, Joel, in general, you've been out there a lot with public insurance adjusters of Colorado. In general, does $100,000 sound excessive for a 1,400 square foot home to clean the soot and ash?
It doesn't necessarily sound excessive. It just depends on what needs to be done, and how much damage needs to be repaired. I've seen mitigation estimates in that area where the drywall needed to be removed because char got into the building envelope. And those types of mitigations on a house that big could run, $200,000-$300,000 for that.
For 1,400 square feet.
If you're talking about tearing out all the drywall and then, removing siding from the home because the siding got contaminated by the soot and ash as well.
Okay. Here's what I found, Joel. Here's what I found. I have found sometimes bad restoration companies, which, by the way, constitute about 85% of the marketplace. What they do is they try to get a price that they know the insurance company will bite on just so they can get paid and get out of there. And they don't try to get the max. They don't try to get the minimum, but they're bad. And here's what I'd like to know from Eric. Eric, how did you find the restoration company?
Well, I'd rather not say.
I mean, I'm asking how. Facebook, Craigslist, how?
No, I interviewed dozens and dozens.
Okay.
And then I went to a public adjuster, and
good.
I went with the public adjuster gave me numerous ones that were reputable, and I picked one.
Good. Okay, so you're protecting yourself. So your public adjuster is helping you to determine, are they helping you with your claim?
Yes.
Good. Good. So you're in good shape. You feel you're in good shape, right?
Yes.
Okay, now
I just want to protect. I'm trying to figure out how to protect myself at the end, so I'm not left with a bunch of work that was done and I don't have money to pay them.
Okay, good. Good question.
So this is, this is the way to handle that type of situation, because I see this all the time. So what happens is that the insurance company, using their own preferred vendors, will come out and give an estimate, and that estimate's always going to be the lowest possible lowball estimate.
And that's what he got. He got the $30,000 estimate.
And then if you actually were to use that company's going to, in the end, invoice higher than that, and the insurance company is going to pay for it. They just give that low-end bid because they, want to continue to get jobs from that insurance company. Oh, sorry.
All right, but what happens now when he has another company that says it's going to be $100,000? His question is, should he let them start work now before he actually settled with the insurance company?
What he should do is make sure that he has an understanding with them that they're going to wait to get paid in full on that bill, until all of the arguments are made with the insurance company and everything's been settled.
And if they don't, is he going to be held personally responsible? Yes, unless other arrangements are made, right?
Yes, unless he's got a confirmation from that mitigation company, they're going to work with the insurance carrier and accept what their final offer is going to be.
So what you should do, Eric, since you have a public adjuster who recommended this company, and by the way, I don't know how you feel about that, Joel, but anyway, if you have this public adjuster who recommended the mitigator, then your public adjuster and the mitigator should assure you that you're not going to be out of pocket.
Right. They should assure them that they're going to wait until the public adjuster and themselves are done.
Yeah, and if they won't do that,
fighting with the carrier.
And if they won't do that, Eric, I would not have them start work.
Right. I would agree with that.
So get it in writing, not a
That's right. That's right. You get it in writing that they are confident they can get this paid for, and the only thing you should pay is your deductible. And I'm telling you, Eric, if you don't get that in writing, you're going. I've seen this 100 times. Well, not 100 times, but I've seen this a lot, where they say, "Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. We need to get working. We need to get working." Your insurance company you fight with, your public adjuster gets his share of the job from the mitigator, and then you're left holding the bag. Now, I want to ask you something, Joel. I don't know how you stand. I've never asked you this. How do you stand on public adjusters recommending contractors and mitigators?
I think that as long as the public adjuster has in his stable of people that he's recommending more than one company, that's fine. I think a good public adjuster will have several companies that they can recommend, and then give the homeowner the opportunity to interview those companies. If a public adjuster is coming in and saying you have to use this guy, this is my guy, find somebody else. But the public adjuster should always be making clear to the client that even if they're bringing somebody with them to evaluate the loss, even if they're suggesting that somebody's good, that relationship is between the policyholder and that company and not the public adjuster. So a good public adjuster will recommend companies but will not insist on any particular company being used.
And next question I have for you, and that is there anything unethical? And I'm not saying it's happening in this case, but would there be anything unethical with a public adjuster getting a piece of the pie for a company he recommends?
Now, it would be if that's not disclosed. So in certain situations, there are companies that I can recommend, and those companies will agree to make the public adjuster part of their overhead costs and absorb the public adjuster's fee. Now, that's perfectly legitimate. That's perfectly above board, as long as the policyholder knows that that's what's happening and I'm not getting charged twice.
Okay.
And that's perfectly legitimate. But if there's some kind of, if you have a public adjuster that's insisting on using one specific person or one specific company, there's probably some extra kickback going on top of them absorbing that 10%. But if the company agrees to absorb the public adjuster's fee, there's no problem with that. That's completely reasonable.
Okay, and that's Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado, 720-715-0000. And the website is coclaims.com. Thank you very much, Joel. We have more coming up.
This is Denver's talk station with Tom.
Okay, the one we advertise is different. That's okay. Thanks.
630 KHOW Denver. Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Spa Palace.
Yeah, that was his personal cell, but that's okay. I think he might have misunderstood you. This has been a busy day, guys.
Yep. Well, it's good when we don't have any time.
Spa Palace is proud to announce it's been inducted into the Aqua 100, the highest honor of full
We usually see what questions about the contract verbiage.
Okay, about these two spots.
See what makes Spa Palace the exceptional choice. Visit spapalace.com for location.
By now you know that I don't
have a problem with reverse loans when they're done properly. First and foremost, they're government guaranteed, so they'll never be upside down in a loan, no matter how much you borrow of the approved amount and how long it's outstanding. You'll never be upside down in that house. And in most cases, in most all cases, that house appreciates far beyond what you owe. But let's talk about getting a reverse loan the right way. That means you get a reverse loan from people who are honest and have your best interest at heart. Empower Reverse Mortgage is one of them. Empower. Now, I know Mark Massey and his team, and I know that they'll give you the counseling you need and talk you through the entire process. EmpowerReverse.com. Call Mark and his team, even if you have any questions. He has a product that goes down to 55 years of age, believe it or not. EmpowerReverse.com, 720-500-7719. 720-500-7719. Retirement's all about income. There are different ways to get income for retirement. You've heard of 401ks, right? And, and SEPs, IRAs, pensions. There's another way, and that's called an annuity. You can roll over a lump sum from a retirement plan. You can pay a little each month when you're younger for when you're older, or you can buy it with a lump sum of money in the cash in the bank, and then you create income for life. When annuities are done the right way, they're golden. They give you great income, and you buy that income instead of having a lump sum that just deteriorates. And the way to do that is mymoneymyway.com. The good people behind the annuities, and also they do become the banker. mymoneymyway.com.
For over 150 years, CIBC
helps people go from where they are.
How much time do I have?
From meeting few employees to managing an entire workforce.
Okay, I'll be right back.
To going national. From generating wealth to generations of wealth. At CIBC, we believe a bank should take you from where you are to wherever you want to be. CIBC, ambitions made real. CIBC Bank USA, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is Dan Kaplis. Ben Franklin said that well done is better than well said. That applies directly to personal injury law. Actions speak louder than words. Talk is cheap. Results matter. At our firm, we've achieved truly historic results, which we'd be proud to share with you. We're a serious firm for serious cases. We take righteous cases on a percentage fee basis. If you need our help with a serious injury or wrongful death case, please give me a call, 303-770-5551, or hit dankapleslaw.com. How long will this bull market last? What will the next recession look like? Are you financially prepared? Visit my website now at kurtcambier.com for your free portfolio analysis. That's Kurt with a K, CAMBIER.com. Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research Inc., a broker-dealer, member of FINRA SIPC, investment advisor representative, Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Inc., a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Centennial Capital Partners are not affiliated.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial.
So how many people do we have watching at a given time? How many people are watching us on Facebook normally?
On average, I'd say about 60 or so. Low numbers look like 30. Right now, we got 39.
Is that on YouTube or Facebook?
This is YouTube.
What
Facebook is always very, very soft. There's not a lot of people watching it.
Yeah, because it's much easier on YouTube.
Yeah. Both get a decent number of replays. So.
What's that?
Doc was asking about our watchmanship.
Hey, it's Mandy Call, and a great way to learn about long-term care is to join my friends from 525 Advisors for their upcoming free long-term care planning live webinar this Saturday morning at 9. You'll learn
You can yell fire in any room you're in.
explain how long-term care works, what the coverage pays for, and
No, you can't.
Huh?
No, you can't.
Oh, you can. There are consequences.
Right.
if you never use it. Then when you're ready, 525 Advisors will design a custom plan with you, just like they're doing for my husband and me right now. I love how much time they've spent with us, and it's not just me. Read the reviews. People love working with Brian and Madeline at 525 Advisors.
Were those your men for the windows in this week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were in on Tuesday. I mean, on Monday.
Oh, Tyler. Tyler was
Tyler was there on Monday.
Okay, good.
525longtermcare.com. That's 525longtermcare.com.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text local to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message is published by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Regrow your hair and get $250 off and 250 free hair grabs. AdvancedHair.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right, so I want to go back to this Amazon thing in 1 minute here. Just wait, Irene. We've been getting some other information behind the scenes, and we'll get right back to you. Dominica, what is going on with you, Dominica? How can we help you?
Hi, Tom. It's Demonica. Thanks for taking my call.
Demonica, what's happening?
Don't worry. We're looking at doing a remodel on our house, an addition on our kitchen. And I sent in a couple of documents. One is the verbiage, legal verbiage, if you will, and the other is the work order. Because of the size of the remodel or the cost, I just want to make sure that some of those fees that are being charged, if on that work order, if we move forward with them, I pay them $7,200. They do the design. They do all the plot.
Now, let's talk about that. Talk about that. Did you send that to us to look at, or to have one of our attorneys look at it?
I did both because it's about a $300,000
Okay. Do you have that, Kelly? That the contract? Did you send it to me?
I did send it to you. It should be at the top of your inbox.
Is it from Help?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got it right now. Yeah, we have attorneys that can help look at this. So what part did you have in question that I can ask them?
Well, I just want to make sure. They had indicated to us that if we hire them, it could take up to the end of the year, first part of next year, before they could start because they're so far behind, number one. Number two is if they do the design, I would get to keep all of that, the plot information, and they would retain $1,500 for their services. My question is, I want to make sure that I didn't see any of that in the verbiage, and it's just $7,200 is a lot of money to have somebody come and tell me, okay, the cabin will go here, the island will go here.
Okay, let me ask you some important questions. What's the name of the company?
Horner Homes.
Horner.
Horner with an H.
Okay. And how much is the total project?
He's telling me $300,000 for a 10 by 40 addition, which they'd have to change the peak of the house to do the addition, and then there's a 24 by 24 covered patio.
Okay. 300. Okay. At today's prices, it's not outrageous, although it sounds outrageous. And how much do they want up front? How much do they want up front?
$7,200, and I sent that to Help also. It's the work order.
Okay, and that's what we have to take a look at and have our attorney look at. So, okay, so this is this the entire agreement, the one that you sent to us?
Yeah. Yes, sir. That's all they've given.
Okay. I just have to be honest with you, we need to have somebody look at this for you. But just on this surface, let's just go over it. in consideration of the covenants set forth in this agreement, you guys agree, development of project and services, customer agrees to engage in company to develop a project that's described above. Where's the description?
I sent that to you.
Okay, fine. So that's separate as long as you're happy with its description. And I want to say something. I'm not giving you legal advice right now. I'm talking to you as if you're my friend, giving you friendly advice. Delivering a project or service, a company will use reasonable diligence, completion of the project, endeavor to deliver customer. Okay, so 120 days after commencement of project. Okay, and that's good that they put a date in there or a time. Customer acknowledge, however, that delivery deadlines and things like that could change it. Okay, ownership rights. Company shall hold the right, a title of interest of all copyrights, patents, and trade secrets. Okay, this is weird. Customer shall not do anything that may infringe upon this company's right. Now, that to me tells me that whatever that design and stuff, are you worried if you back out, if you can keep the plans, or what are you worried about? What was your, go ahead.
Correct. And then, it's $7,200 up front, and on that, maybe you don't have that email open, but the recording of as-built and forensic demolitions, $1,500, the plot plans, $450.
Listen, okay, and this says that if a customer shall, it says, for all company services under this agreement, customers shall compensate company in cash the amount specified in the total, okay? And in the event customer fails to make any of the payments referenced by the deadline set forth as invoiced, well, hell, okay, customer forfeits all deposits and company has the right and is not obligated to go any further? Come on, man. I mean, I don't like this agreement. You may like it. I would never sign it. I'm telling you, I would never sign this thing. What if you have a dispute and you withhold payment for a few days, or you have something inspected? This guy says sorry. Now we don't have to do anything, and you lose all your deposits. Screw you. Right. I don't like this. Yeah. I mean, I just don't. No warranty is provided for these design services. Okay, well, what if they're pieces of crap? What did you pay for? And it doesn't say here, it says the contractor for design services. This contract, company shall utilize due diligence, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you're signing a contract for design services. I didn't see the amount written in here. So how much is this design services contract?
It's that portion of it is $2,000, and that's for 20 hours of design consultation. Okay. You know what? I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to do this in stages, and this is a design contract. If I was going to add, do they have an architect that's doing this or an engineer? No, they're going to hire an engineer because the back of the house has to be removed.
Okay.
And
I just want to tell you something. There's nothing wrong with a contractor wanting to control this part of it. Nothing wrong with it. But I'll tell you how I've done it in the past. I have hired a separate architect, with an engineer who knows engineers or is an engineer who can stamp the drawings, and I do not have the contractor and engineer together, and I'll tell you why, or the contractor and architect, because I don't want the contractor and architect in cahoots, if that's a word anymore, but I don't want them in league with each other against me. I want the architect and engineer looking out for my interests on the job each and every day or through the process, and that's part of your contract with an architect. And to be honest with you, it does cost more than $2,000, but you get more for it. So if you're asking my opinion, I think it's asked backwards to have them do everything all in one, because they're going to protect their own interests, not yours. Would you have? I wouldn't have the architect. I had an architect, great architect, an engineer. I mean, he had an engineer. They drew up the drawings, and then they held the contractors to task. Right. If this contractor owns the engineering, fuck that.
No, you're right. When we had our house built, they were in cahoots. We sued the general contractor. At first, they wanted to set up for $25,000. We got over $400,000 plus.
Are you shitting?
Nope. Plus attorney's fees, everything. The only thing were you able to fix it? Yeah. The only thing that they did right was the foundation.
What was the total contract?
Well, the house was $650 to build.
So they got to keep $250.
Well, they got to keep the $650, but we got $400,000 back to finish everything that they didn't do right.
Well, then they didn't get to keep $650.
Right.
BlakeHarrisLaw.com. He is our estate planning expert, and I urge you to call him. You know what I love about Blake? He'll answer your questions free of charge up front, and then he'll quote you a price based on what you need. But what's great is you can get the information. Hey, Blake, somebody just died. What do I do? Or, Blake, I need to do this, this, or this. Or, what about I have kids I like and kids I don't like from another marriage? What do I do? No, seriously, complicated questions. Or, how about I want an offshore account? Is that legal? How do I do it? I need a special needs trust. What about just a simple will? Ask your questions. 833-ASK-BLAKE. 833-ASK-BLAKE. BlakeHarrisLaw.com.
The new.
Man, that woman's see, she opened up a can of worms. She's asking for way more than.
She needs to have O'Brien look at the contract.
Under this agreement, right? That's what I'm going to do. That's what.
I mean, I had him look at my contract, and I felt much better having him look at it.
Appreciates the American dream as much as Romanian immigrants.
If you're spending $300,000 to spend $1,000 or $2,000 to have him look at the contract, it's crazy not to do it.
A direct stone importer who passes wholesale prices on to his customers for all countertops, completed in just 2 weeks.
This guy gets on my nerves. Who does this commercial?
Have the kitchen done, tear out and haul.
That's me.
I know.
He has the weirdest voice.
Yeah, he does.
And when I tell, oh my God, I'm getting new insurance for my helicopter. I hate this process. They first of all, they make you look like you're an asshole.
Are you doing it through Compass or Integra?
What's that?
Are you doing it through Compass or they don't handle that? The insurance for your helicopter, are you doing it through
No,
Compass?
they don't do that shit. No. It's what's in it?
Specialized insurance company.
Hi, this is Marty Lenz with an amazing.
Hi, this is Marty Lenz.
Sell and stay program. Selling in today's market is smart. However, it creates a problem as to where to go.
What happened to that car question? I guess maybe she told me to call tomorrow.
Which means you can sell now and be guaranteed to stay in your home until it's time to move. The Thomas family needed a larger home but couldn't find one that they liked on the market. They saw how much money they could get for their home, but that didn't matter if they had nowhere to go. So they sold their home at $52,000 over asking, and they stayed in their current home for an additional 6 months until they found that dream home. To learn more about the sell and stay guarantee, call the group at 833-453-SOLD, 833-453-SOLD. Go to the website, GAYE, GayFlyers.com. That's GayFlyers.com.
And that speaker, that microphone is ridiculous on that camera.
I'm recommending doing their all-in-one phone video collaboration solution. Yep, switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user plus SDK. Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Smart communications for a smarter business. Membership numbers at Fly's Gym have been racking up. 22 people have signed up for 6 a.m. voting. Now he needs more certified trainers to do all the heavy lifting.
I'm going to have to bulk up my staff.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed.
There's 44 in there now.
What's that?
I was talking to Doc. There's 44 people in okay. And we had
As producer Ryan Schuling Super Shoe, from the topical to the irreverent, the serious to the sublime, or conservative.
The most today was 59.
I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So, Irene, here's what we want to do on this thing. This sounds to me like these responses are not even taking into consideration the real situation. And you have now no accounts. You don't have a phone number for this person, but you do have that customer service phone number, and I was going to tell you how to complain with it. Here's what you have to do, and I know this from previous Amazon problems. They don't want stories, so here's what you say. It's very simple. I had a book on sale through Amazon 14 years ago. I had forgotten about that account and never used it. I think it was subsequently closed by Amazon. That's it. Okay? I think. Now, recently, in the last few years, I wrote a few more books. And I put them all back up on Amazon. And as a result, you guys thought I was cheating or something because you said I violated my terms because I had two accounts. Obviously, the previous account was closed and not used. I forgot all about it. So certainly, I should be able to open a new account. I mean, I would say that. That's the beginning with this number, and if that doesn't work, we'll escalate it. But the thing is, I would purposely not ask for the person that wrote you the letter. In fact, I wouldn't get into it. I would just say I was erased. And the reason I was erased is because of this conflict of two accounts. And so that's the way I would handle it and see what they do. And I would talk to someone specifically about it as opposed to trying to write it. And then on the other hand, I want to ask another question here, and that is, did this affect, do you have any other accounts with Amazon?
No, not through publishing, because it doesn't affect anything else I do on Amazon.
Okay, that's what I want.
I can buy a television, but it doesn't mean anything.
Okay, that's what I want to know. And the other books now, were they electronic?
Yes, both. They were also they were on Kindle and hardcover.
Now, the hardcover, did they actually, was it print on demand?
Well, yes. Whatever anybody orders, they put out.
Okay, I get it. So, Kelly, did you give her that number?
I'll do it right now.
We're going to give you that number. I want you to call us back tomorrow, or we will call you. I want to know what they say. I'm Tom Martino. Wow, it's been a busy day, and I thank you for joining us. Don't forget, you can call 303-MARTINO anytime for help, information, and referrals 24/7. Also, referralist.com. Save all your problems.